zombies in BO4 or something. I mean, I don't give people something.
All right.
Yeah, they're not just not gonna sell anything COD for a full year. It's their biggest franchise. Like that.
I can never see them taking a year off unless like their studios literally shut down or collapse or something. Like I never see them taking a year off. Literally. What's up, dude? Yeah, there was country music. Sorry about that. Yeah, I don't know if it's copyrighted or not. I'm just not gonna. I won't play it until the webcast starts. What is up? Thank you guys for just coming in. A few more minutes till it starts. I have a solid picture in the background there. There's no video to stream. It's literally just a phone call. We'll have audio on stream. Dude, look how big this phone call is, bro. This is a sick starting lineup right here. Insane.
Oh boy.
Hype in the chat.
Major hype.
Major hype, dude. Where do we see this announcement on console? It's not on console. It's not on console. It is on their investors' website. My link is in the description for that. If you want to see it on your own.
A business call happening on console. Now that's
You know what? It might be like, can you go to internet browser? Yeah.
wait, what happened?
Internet browser on PS4. You could probably pull it up.
Oh yeah, well you
Yeah,
can.
something like
I
that.
think you can. Yeah.
Right.
I don't know, like the
Just
browser.
telling all the investors to boot up their PlayStations.
Does Modern Warfare have more than
Holy
30 million copies sold?
Wait, what?
Cat Zombies. Thank you so much. Wow. I can't see the join button for your channel, so I hope this helps. Have a good stream. Thank you so much, Cat. Really means a lot to me. Yeah, join button's broken for most people. Very broken feature on YouTube. It would have been cool if that actually worked, but thank you so much, Cat Zombies. I love having you guys around. Let's see what happens.
Activision is covering the costs of any medical stuff for employees who need testing, treatment, and stuff due to. No, so they're not totally horrific people. Basically, just says they're paying for all their employees' coronavirus treatment.
Yeah.
Oh, it's starting.
Oh, it started? Alright.
I had their music on.
Oh shit.
Just
Alright.
an actual stream.
Are they talking?
The most weird music
Oh, it's
ever.
Alright. Yep.
Wait, is this still
like
music?
orchestral music.
What the fuck?
Stream is lit.
Quality tune. 3 minutes, well 4 minutes.
This probably
Oh
is
my God,
copyrighted.
Jesus Christ. 3 minutes,
I
baby.
must pull my computer plug out.
Orchestral music isn't copyrighted usually.
I hope it's not.
No, I hope it's
Oh
not.
yeah, it's live now. Dead of the night, baby. Dead of the night music. Let's go. Hey, let's get it, man, bro. 300 people. Let's get it.
We're gonna launch on the death of the like,
Ghost just looks weird chilling there with all these freaking. Just some massive
Oh my god.
Let's go.
Why is so many people watching? Oh my god.
People care about Call of Duty, dude. Imagine saying COD's dead.
Oh my god. I'm around 25 right now. I'm almost fully set up.
Yo. Alright, my stream's live, just so you know, just so you guys know.
Imagine saying COD's dead. GG. Hi, Sky Chat. Yes, Dragon Chat. Beauty green icon, 300 views. Let's go, bro.
So you're
I
gonna
don't think
post
it's too
a
long,
link to the call somewhere, DK? Because I'm not sure where to. Is it?
Yeah, it's in our Discord chat. Let me know if you see that.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
repost it. Yeah. There we go.
Yo.
Yo. I'm running to my kitchen. All right, guys. 3 minutes, dude. Let's go. Or 2 minutes and 30.
don't get lost in the
Yeah, what's gonna happen, guys?
Gonna break
Predictions?
What's gonna happen?
They're gonna say they're gonna announce their new game, but they're not gonna say who it's developed by.
I tell you what, the one thing that I would love that will be unexpected, if there's mention of cancelled Black Ops 4 DLC 5.
Please. We'll love that.
They would never. They never confirm if something's cancelled. I don't know if they've ever done that.
That'd be sick, though.
Dude, imagine if they just say they're planning on releasing additional content for Black Ops 4.
Oh,
Dude,
my God.
I want it.
It's on my whole computer. I'd be so hyped, bro. I'd be fucking like shaking. Oh god, that'd be sick.
It's gonna be beautiful.
Zombies Chronicles 2's in Modern Warfare.
Oh,
Fuck out of here. Oh man.
oh.
Black Ops 2 remastered. Oh yeah, imagine that chat. Ooh, bro.
Zombies is going to be so different on this engine.
Dude,
It's gonna
Black
be
Ops
so
2
weird to get
Remastered is
used
gonna be in 2025.
Oh,
I
that's a
think it would be good.
to.
Oh my god. We're so close to that too. Please. Elevator music, baby.
1 minute away.
And
I love the music, man.
before like 95% is about like World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's alright.
COD 2020 canceled. Modern Warfare
Yeah.
get extra season of content.
6 brand new Crash games.
Yeah. 6. Yeah. This whole stream's gonna be about the Call of Duty movie universe, the cinematic universe.
We're expanding our movie division. Crash movie, Spiral the movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
The games thing hasn't been going so well lately, so we're just gonna switch out.
Yeah. Not going so well, dude. Because Activision streaming on YouTube or Twitter, neither, man. They're on their investors' website, dude. I have the link in the description if you want the link.
Yeah, I'm taking the timer off my screen. I'm just gonna change it.
You're gonna love the.
Nah, sorry, FBI. I was just setting up the stream. But yeah, no, don't be like. I mean, it's up to you, really. I don't really care. But yeah, no, I was just setting up the stream and all the lads are talking, and it's starting in a sec. So yeah, we're just getting ready.
Nice beauty logo on screen, custom made. 10 seconds, baby.
Someone put in your chat, I came here by accident.
Zombies Chronicles
Happens a
2,
lot.
Black Ops 3. I'll take it. Oh,
Oh,
time is up. Zero. They're late, bro. You're
It's
late.
not late. Is there a
Late.
chat box? Is there a chat?
Late.
We're
Late.
talking
What
about
is this music?
It's just like the Zombros podcast. Please.
Oh, right.
Oh my god.
They're late like every time though. So it's,
Yeah.
Yo, D-
Spam that in chat.
DK. So I click on that link and there's the. I don't see the.
you're just gonna say your name and
Yeah, you gotta type in your info. It says
You
for.
click here for
Oh.
webcast.
Oh.
Oh,
Wait, here we go.
Oh my god, $2
What's
donation.
happening?
Thank you, Mike. That'd be awesome, Mike.
2020 earnings conference call. All
Thanks for the donation. $5 in a super chat from A Bot. But yeah, we're just starting off with the Activision call. They won't say anything about Call of Duty for about half an hour, probably.
the associated tax benefits of these excluded items, and significant discrete tax-related items, including amounts related to changes in tax laws, amounts related to the potential or final resolution of tax positions, and other unusual...
Yo, lads, okay, so we got it up now. I'm just gonna listen to it off DK
Non-GAAP
stream
measures are
because...
not intended to be considered in isolation from, as a substitute for, or superior to our GAAP results. We encourage investors to consider all measures before making an investment decision. Please refer to our earnings release, which is posted on www.activisionblizzard.com for a full GAAP to non-GAAP reconciliation and further explanation with respect to our non-GAAP measures. There's also an earnings presentation which you can access with the webcast and which will be posted to the website following the call. And now, I'd like to introduce our CEO, Bobby Kotick.
Thank you, Chris, and thank you for joining us today. Let me first convey our sympathies to those who have suffered during this difficult time. While very few of our own team members have contracted COVID-19, a number of our employees have been impacted by the illness and the passing of family members. Our thoughts and prayers are with them and everyone else affected by the pandemic. Quite honestly, I've been awestruck during the last 2 months by the strength of our employees and their families managing through unprecedented challenges from healthcare to childcare. Our teams around the world have shown ingenuity and incredible resilience. And even faced with so many difficulties, our employees still ensured that the joy, the social connection, and the unexpected benefits of gaming as a way to keep our 400 million players around the world connected and engaged and safely at home has continued without interruption. Our employees and their families have shown incredible empathy for those affected by the pandemic in their communities and across the world. They've organized meal deliveries, care for the elderly, even the use of their own 3D printers to create high-quality facial protection for their colleagues. Our teams have shown unwavering support for the first responders, nurses, doctors, and medical professionals working tirelessly in unimaginable conditions. Our corporate social responsibility initiatives have been expanded to support programs to provide healthcare professionals with a variety of resources, including so much uncertainty for the future. Our mission to connect and engage the world through epic entertainment has never been more meaningful than it is today. At a time when so many forms of social interactions and entertainment experiences have been shut down, we're providing entertainment with positive impact for hundreds of millions of people through our games. Our content and connecting members of our communities around the world is critically important. Our development and commercial teams quickly adapted to this new work environment, and as of now, we're on track to deliver compelling new content, including the World of Warcraft Shadowlands expansion and the next premium Call of Duty release, both of which are planned for the second half.
I think I'm
of the
muted.
year.
Yeah, I had it
Our esports
unmuted just then.
organization has quickly pivoted to remote production and continues to deliver live esports for both the Call of Duty League and the Overwatch League, a direct result of the hard work and flexibility of our team owners and our sponsors. In the face
Are you
of
expecting an
unprecedented
announcement? Yeah, about half an hour in, bro.
extraordinary
They're gonna
teams
start talking
also
about Call of
delivered
Duty related
extremely
stuff.
strong first quarter financial results. We significantly exceeded our outlook for both revenue and earnings per share. We reached new highs for first quarter net bookings across each of mobile, console, and PC, and we exited the quarter with accelerating engagement and momentum across the business as people around the world turn to our content for entertainment and connection. Performance in the quarter was led by Call of Duty, which is achieving tremendous scale and momentum across platforms, geographies, and business models. Following industry-leading launches for Call of Duty Mobile and Modern Warfare in the fourth quarter of 2019, the franchise raised the bar even higher with the launch of Warzone in March. With a free-to-play business model and cross-platform play, Warzone expanded Modern Warfare's reach, engagement, and player investment. Warzone to date has brought in over 60 million players since its launch. The exceptional results for Call of Duty reflect our team's remarkable execution as they innovate and take on new commercial challenges to grow and better serve our community. Their success demonstrates that free-to-play experiences across mobile, console, and PC not only extend the reach of a franchise, but can also lead to strong in-game monetization and sales of premium content. Call of Duty's success highlights the great potential across our portfolio as we continue to focus on extending our fully owned intellectual property to new platforms, new geographies, and new business models. Blizzard also recorded strong growth in the first quarter, led by World of Warcraft. After doubling in the second half of 2019, the WoW active community grew further in Q1. Blizzard is seeing strong increases in engagement across our franchises as people around the world stay home, adding to business momentum as our game teams execute against the strongest pipeline of content in Blizzard's history. At King, Candy Crush was again the top grossing game franchise across US app stores, with engagement increasing sharply towards the end of the quarter. To enable our community to play even more as a part of the stay-at-home initiatives, in late March, King offered unlimited free lives across many of their titles, resulting in the number of game rounds played in a single day, shattering all prior records. Momentum continued to increase in April with strong year-over-year growth in reach, engagement, and player investment. As we build on our strong first quarter results and our continuing momentum, I'm excited to introduce our new President and Chief Operating Officer, Daniel Allegre. From his long tenure at Google, Daniel brings deep experience building direct digital relationships with consumers, fostering strategic relationships with key industry partners, and driving rapid growth internationally and in early-stage businesses. His expertise and commitment to excellence and execution will be his focus. I'd also like to thank Coddy Johnson for his extraordinary contributions to the continued success of the company during his 12-year tenure and for being a truly, truly valued friend. Of course, our strong business performance wouldn't be possible without the efforts of our dedicated, talented, and truly empathic teams around the world. We are so grateful for the work you're doing under extremely challenging circumstances. We're also appreciative of the continued support of our shareholders, partners, and players, and we wish you and your families health and safety through what remains a difficult time. And now, Daniel will review the highlights of our operations with you.
Thank you, Bobby. I'm glad to be with you all for my first earnings call as COO, and really proud to be part of a company so deeply connected to its mission during this really challenging time. I want to start by first expressing my deepest sympathies to all those affected by this health crisis, and expressing thanks on behalf of the entire company to all those on the front lines of the battle against the COVID pandemic. I would also like to thank our employees for their commitment to our players and to each other, particularly under such a unique and difficult environment we are currently living in. But before I discuss our recent operational highlights, I'd like to share with you my focus and priorities. They are simple: execution, execution, and execution. We have great franchises, and we will get back to what we are known for: superb execution. As Bobby said, the health and safety of our employees and their families remains our priority. I'd like to expand on the measures we are taking to keep our employees and their families safe, and address our expectations for our development pipeline for the remainder of the year. All our offices had moved to work-from-home environments by mid-March, and we are fortunate to have had very few cases of COVID-19 across the company. And we are ensuring our employees and their family members are receiving the best possible care, and we're covering all costs of testing and treatment for affected employees and their families. We have increased access to telehealth resources and contracted private doctors and medical support in regions where employees live and work. We have had additional services to our already best-in-class health benefits and ensured that employees have access to the mental and physical well-being and support they need while at home. And we are continuing to find other ways to support our employees and their families, including services to help families balance work and home life. Now turning to development. The digital nature of our content means our creative talent can continue to work on our product pipeline from home. Although the shift to remote working does add complexity and challenges in some areas of the game development process, including creative collaboration, motion capture, voiceover work, localization, and quality assurance, we are implementing mitigation measures to address each of these areas. Importantly, based on the work to date, we still expect to deliver a robust slate of content over the remainder of the year. This includes the next premium release of Call of Duty, 2 titles based on library IP from Activision, the World of Warcraft Shadowlands expansion, regional testing for new mobile titles, and ongoing live operations across our key franchises. Regardless of location, our teams remain focused on
2 Call of Duty titles, lads. Everyone on the stream hear that?
As Bobby has laid out. First, delivering a strong, consistent cadence of major new content releases. Second, driving live operations with ongoing in-game content, services, features, and
what
events.
you said didn't work.
Third, expanding King's industry-leading mobile success and extending our acclaimed console and PC franchises to mobile. And finally, building new engagement models around our franchises, including advertising, esports, and consumer products. Now, more than ever, players new and existing are looking for connection through epic entertainment. And our mission is to make that available to them in
COD
whatever
titles?
form they
What?
find
I'm so
most
confused, lads. Keep listening.
Now
keep
turning
listening.
to our first quarter results. We significantly exceeded our outlook, driven primarily
Bro,
by
Modern
overperformance
Warfare 2
for Call of
Remastered
Duty Modern
multiplayer, lads. I'm
Warfare
telling you.
quarter,
That's
including
one
a
of them.
highly successful start for our new free-to-play Call of Duty Warzone. We also saw continued momentum for World of Warcraft and better than expected
no one gives a
results
fuck about World
for
of
other
Warcraft.
key
Shut
franchises
up.
in the second half of March, as populations sheltering at home in many of our key regions turn to our content for entertainment and social connection. These trends have continued so far in the second quarter, with business performance accelerating further in April. Now, starting with Activision, MAUs more than doubled over the prior year, reaching 102
Lads, quickly
million.
in the chat,
Call of Duty
can you open up
delivered
my
remarkable
Twitch, drop
growth
me a follow, and
across
keep the
multiple
Twitch
vectors.
tab open in the
As we've
background?
discussed on
I'm trying to get
prior
affiliate
calls,
on there, and you
we
can
made
just watch it on there, or just have it
significant
muted in the
with the
background. I
launch
appreciate
of
it.
Call of Duty Modern
Put
Warfare
the
to enhance the
chat in
player
the link.
experience, expand the community,
The link in the
and
chat.
deepen
No,
engagement.
other way around.
We added cross-platform play, introduced a new in-game content system, and removed the season pass to keep our players closer together. Modern Warfare entered the year with strong momentum, achieving substantial year-over-year growth in engagement, premium game sales, and in-game net bookings in both January and February. And the launch of Warzone on console and PC on March 10th really took the franchise to new heights. Warzone is a massive free-to-play experience where up to 150 players compete in a range of modes on a vast map, featuring cross-play and in-game system
Cheers to the
entirely
sub, bro.
integrated with a Modern Warfare Battle Pass. Warzone adds yet more compelling content for our Modern Warfare community and also enables an entirely new set of players around the world to experience Call of Duty for free. This response has been incredible. Warzone has brought in more than 60 million players since the launch, including many on the PC platform and in countries beyond Call of Duty's traditional regions. We are seeing the free-to-play experience driving strong incremental sales on the premium Modern Warfare title, adding to its sales momentum entering the year and rising demand from stay-at-home conditions. Modern Warfare sell-through in Q1 was the highest ever for a Call of Duty title outside of the launch quarter.
Wow.
Life to date, Modern Warfare has sold through more units and has more players than any prior Call of Duty title at this point after its release. Warzone also contributed to a further acceleration in Modern Warfare's in-game net bookings, which more than doubled year over year versus the prior game in Q1.
It's a new
even
generation
with the
of COD,
removal
lads.
of the season pass.
New generation.
And this momentum has only strengthened. The third season of in-game content launched in April and is Call of Duty's best performing to date for both engagement and player investment. With the new free-to-play experience contributing to a massively expanded audience, unprecedented momentum in premium game sales, and robust in-game growth, we expect Modern Warfare's net bookings this year to be the highest for a Call of Duty game in the year after launch. And looking ahead, the next premium release for Call of Duty already looks great and remains on track for release later this year.
Okay, release
On the
remains
mobile
on
platform,
track.
the Call of Duty
lads.
mobile team
Okay,
continued to build
interesting.
on last October's breakout launch with new content, features, and events aimed at optimizing engagement, retention, and player investment. The team started to deliver an accelerated cadence of content in March, launching new seasonal events every 4 weeks, twice as frequently as previously. The combination of increasingly compelling content and events and stay-at-home dynamics drove the growth in reach and engagement in March, and player investment has followed, with April's Season 5 delivering the highest monthly in-game net bookings since Season 1. With deep engagement, substantial content in the pipeline, and opportunities to further refine the in-game system, we expect Call of Duty Mobile to be an increasing contributor over time. Q1 also saw the launch of the inaugural season of the Professional Call of Duty League. Originally planned in a local city-based homestand format, we quickly pivoted all matches to online play and remote production for the remainder of the regular season to keep our players and fans safe while still delivering premium esports content to a global audience. With the Call of Duty demonstrating the power of the franchise across platforms, geographies, and business models, and premium content on track for the fall, we really couldn't be more excited about the growth trajectory for 2020 and beyond. Now turning to Blizzard. MAUs were 32 million in Q1, with each of Blizzard's key franchises experiencing a month-on-month increase in reach in March. World of Warcraft continued its strong momentum in the quarter as the team continued to deliver more content between expansions than ever before. Having doubled its active community in the second half of last year, the number of players on monthly or longer-term subscription plans increased further in Q1. Reach and engagement were particularly strong as regions introduced shelter-at-home measures through the quarter, with momentum increasing further in April. The community continues to engage deeply in Classic, a recreation of our original WoW from 15 years ago, which has delivered substantial content drops in recent months and has much more to come later in the year. Reach and engagement also increased for Modern WoW, which again received a major content drop in Q1. And this increased activity drove accelerating pre-sales of Shadowlands, the next expansion for Modern WoW, which is slated for the second half of the year. Hearthstone continued to deliver improved engagement trends in the first quarter, driven by the launch of the new Battlegrounds Auto Battler mode in November, and strong execution in live operations. Overwatch also experienced a meaningful increase in engagement in March as its latest seasonal event coincided with stay-at-home effects. And fans continued to engage with the franchise through the Overwatch League, which successfully moved to online play and remote production during the quarter. And finally, Diablo Immortal is shaping up very well. We remain on track to begin regional testing for the game in the middle of the year. At King, MAUs were 273 million, increasing 10% from the fourth quarter. MAUs grew month-on-month in January and February, and then accelerated further in March as shelter-at-home conditions came into effect. King's key franchise, Candy Crush, grew MAUs year over year in each month of the quarter with double-digit growth in March. And within the Candy franchise, the community played more rounds of games in any quarter since the 2016 acquisition. Now, in terms of player investment, Candy Crush Saga remained the top grossing title across US app stores, and the wider Candy franchise was once again number one. We previously discussed King's initiatives to bring back lapsed payers and attract new payers into the ecosystem, positioning the business for stronger growth over the medium and long term. And as expected, these initiatives dampened in-game net bookings again in Q1, but they contributed to ongoing improvement in payer trends in January and February before payer numbers stepped up further in both March and April. And with strengthening engagement and payer trends, we've seen King's in-game net bookings grow by low double-digit percentage year over year in April. While we saw improving trends in King's in-game business, which represents the significant majority of the segment's net bookings, the advertising business slowed towards the end of the quarter. Advertising grew over 75% year over year for the first quarter, then moderated a bit in April against the backdrop of a sudden decline in demand across the digital advertising sector, albeit still growing over 20% year on year in April. While we assume the environment will remain challenging, we do expect growth for the full year as we roll out more ads to more players, enhance our infrastructure to deliver the highest value ads to each player, and broaden both our base of advertisers and demand partners. I'd also note that the combination of King's strong in-game trends and the current situation in the ad market is creating more opportunities for the business to cost-effectively bring players into the network, expanding its audience and further boosting its MAU trajectory. The same is true across our other business units. So in summary, we entered the year with strong momentum in some of our biggest franchises, which only increased further through the quarter. Our employees are showing remarkable dedication as they take on the responsibility of delivering the highest quality content to our expanded communities. And I couldn't be more excited to be part of this great and dedicated global team. I am focused on executing on our priorities as we deliver against the substantial opportunity to extend our largest IP across new platforms, geographies, and business models, and work on the strongest pipeline in our company's history. I will now hand over the call to Dennis to discuss our Q1 financial results and outlook. Dennis?
Thanks, Daniel.
Today, I will review our Q1 2020 results, as well as our outlook for 2020 and the second quarter. But before I start, I'd just like to echo Daniel and Bobby's sentiments about the unique environment we're in and share my sincerest sympathies to those who have been affected directly by it, as well as my thanks and gratitude to all our teams and employees who have so seamlessly transitioned into this new work environment we find ourselves in. Our digitally native business model, both on the production and the distribution side of our business, makes us well positioned to deliver world-class content and experiences for our players. Our teams take our mission and our responsibility to deliver fun and social engagement to our players in this tough time very seriously. They really didn't miss a beat during all this transition, and you can see the strong results of those efforts in our Q1 results and increased full-year guidance. Our first quarter revenue and earnings were well ahead of our prior outlook, primarily driven by our investment in creative and commercial initiatives for Call of Duty, delivering better than expected results throughout the quarter. In addition, World of Warcraft continued to over-deliver, and other key franchises and catalog sales also exceeded our outlook, benefiting from stronger demand towards the end of the quarter as consumers sheltered at home in many of our key regions. To review the quarter, I will start with our segment results. Activision revenue was $519 million, growing 64% year over year.
500 million.
Growth was driven by Call of Duty Modern Warfare and Warzone in-game revenues, strong game sales of premium Modern Warfare, and the addition of Call of Duty Mobile. Operating income was $184 million, with an operating margin of 35%, 12 percentage points higher year over year. Blizzard revenue was $452 million, increasing 31% year over year, reflecting strong growth for World of Warcraft and the release of Warcraft 3 Reforged in the quarter. Operating income was $197 million. Blizzard's operating margin was 44%, significantly higher year over year, primarily due to strong revenue growth. King's revenue of $498 million was roughly flat sequentially and lower year over year, driven primarily by King's actions to prioritize mobile payer engagement in the quarter. The ads business grew over 75% year over year.
Yeah, appreciate it, Cody.
Operating income was $156 million, with an operating margin of 31%, lower than a year ago due to lower revenues and higher operating expenses as King made disciplined investments in expanding its player network. Across our segments, in-game net bookings grew 20% year over year to $956 million. Now let's turn to our overall consolidated results. Unless otherwise indicated, I will be referencing non-GAAP figures. Please refer to our earnings release for full GAAP to non-GAAP reconciliations. For the quarter, we generated Q1 GAAP revenues of $1.79 billion, $148 million above our February guidance. This includes the net recognition of deferrals of $266 million. Net bookings of $1.52 billion were $247 million above our February outlook. We incurred GAAP-only restructuring and related charges of $23 million, and we generated Q1 GAAP EPS of 65 cents and Q1 non-GAAP EPS of 76 cents, which was 10 cents above guidance. These figures include the net recognition of deferrals of 18 cents. In terms of cash flow, the increasingly digital, recurring, and cash-generative nature of our business remains one of our fundamental strengths. This powers a strong balance sheet, which continues to be an important strategic asset for the company, especially now. In Q1, we delivered operating cash flow of $148 million, lower year over year despite higher operating income due to cash payments for tax settlements and working capital timing. Our cash and investments at the end of March were approximately $6 billion, and we ended the quarter with a net cash position of approximately $3.3 billion. And as previously announced, this week we will pay an annual dividend of 41 cents per share, 11% higher year over year. Now let's turn to our outlook for Q2 and the full year. In Q2, Activision plans to deliver 2 seasons of in-game content for Modern Warfare and Warzone versus 1 season in the first quarter. Season 3 has already launched very successfully in April. Activision also released Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Remastered on PC and Xbox One following the PS4 release in late Q1. And they plan to continue delivering new features, events, and seasons for Call of Duty Mobile. In April, Blizzard launched its latest Hearthstone expansion,
I'm
Ashes
not sure
of
they're
Outland,
even going to mention
and
it.
through the quarter will continue to support other key franchises with in-game content. And King will continue to deliver innovative features, events, and live ops across its portfolio. Turning to the second half of the year, our planned slate includes a new Call of Duty premium title, 2 releases based on our extensive library of IP from Activision, and Blizzard's Shadowlands expansion for World of Warcraft. We will also continue to deliver in-game experiences for our other key franchises across our portfolio. And we continue to expect to begin regional playtesting for Diablo Immortal and certain other mobile titles, although as discussed last quarter, we don't include any material revenue from these new mobile titles in our guidance. Before I discuss the specifics of our outlook, I'll provide some context. The full extent of the impact of the pandemic on our financial results will depend on numerous evolving factors that we are not able to fully predict at this time. While we have seen a positive impact on demand, there are also risks related to global economic weakness, rising unemployment, pressures on retail channel, pricing, and other factors where we have limited visibility currently. We have tried to be prudent in our guidance to account for these effects, and we believe there is a potential for overperformance if these risks do not materialize. Now, the addition of the Warzone free-to-play experience has further increased the reach, engagement, and player investment in Call of Duty, building on an existing strength for Modern Warfare and creating a strong foundation for future financial performance. As discussed, we are also seeing increased demand for our other franchises as interest in gaming grows. The current environment creates the potential for a structural opportunity
I'm just listening
to bring
right
more
now,
players
Michael.
into
I was
our community
had
who we can
gameplay
then
before.
engage and retain for the long term, and to accelerate the continuing shift towards digital sales in our business. We have attempted to be conservative in our assumptions around the impact of these trends beyond the second quarter, but the backdrop does create greater potential for operating overperformance later this year. Since we provided our initial guidance in February, the strengthening dollar has resulted in an additional FX headwind to full-year net bookings of approximately $100 million. And the combination of FX and lower interest income from declining interest rates represent an aggregate approximately 8 cents of headwind to our full-year GAAP and non-GAAP EPS versus our prior outlook. Overall, though, with strong momentum across the business, we are raising our outlook for net bookings, revenue, and EPS for the year. And in the case of EPS, we are raising by an amount greater than our first quarter overperformance, despite the FX and interest rate headwinds I just described. Now let me get into specifics. For Q2 on a GAAP basis, we now expect revenues of $1.69 billion, including the net recognition of deferrals of $15 million. We expect net bookings of $1.68 billion. Product costs, game operations, and distribution expenses of 19%, and operating expenses, including software amortization, of 48%, and a GAAP-only restructuring charge of approximately $20 million. We expect a tax rate of 21%, GAAP and non-GAAP share count of 776 million, and EPS of 54 cents. For Q2 on a non-GAAP basis, we now expect product costs, game operations, and distribution expenses of 19%, and operating expenses, including software amortization, of 43%. We expect a tax rate of 19% and non-GAAP EPS of 64 cents, including net deferrals of 1 cent. On a GAAP basis for 2020, we now expect revenues of $6.8 billion, including net deferrals of $100 million. We now expect net bookings of $6.9 billion for the year. Product costs, game operations, and distribution expenses of 19%, operating expenses, including software amortization, of 48%, and a GAAP-only restructuring charge of approximately $50 million. We now expect a GAAP tax rate of 20%, GAAP and non-GAAP share count of 778 million, and GAAP EPS of $2.22. For 2020 on a non-GAAP basis, we expect product costs, game operations, and distribution expenses of 20%, and operating expenses, including software amortization, of 42%. We expect a tax rate of 19% and non-GAAP EPS of $2.62, including the net recognition of deferrals of 2 cents. So in closing, our business has accelerating momentum from the dual tailwinds of strong execution in our largest franchises following last year's investments in increased development capacity and expanded reach and engagement as people turn to our interactive content as they shelter at home. We are humbled that so many people are turning to our content for solace, joy, and connection in this challenging time, and will continue to stay focused on delivering the high-quality experiences that they have come to expect from us. Now, Bobby, Daniel, and our business leaders, Rob, Humam, and Jay, and I are happy to answer your questions. Operator?
Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we'll begin the question and answer session. To ask a question, you may press star and then 1 using a touch-tone telephone. To withdraw your questions, you may press star and then 2. If you are using a speakerphone, we do ask that you please pick up the handset before pressing the numbers to ensure the best sound quality. Once again, that is star and then 1 to ask a question.
Surely
And our
someone.
first question today comes from Mario Liu from Barclays. Please go ahead with your question.
Great. Thanks for taking the question. Amazing quarter, and I hope everyone and their family is safe. So I know it's hard to parse out due to the increased engagement from COVID and social distancing, but can you provide any color in terms of how accretive Call of Duty Warzone has been to Modern Warfare unit sales? And what should we expect its success to have on the new Call of Duty 2020 premium title sales later this year? Thank you.
Hey Mario, this is Rob. Thanks for the question and also for your note up front. I think the short answer to the question is that Warzone has definitely been accretive to the franchise. And it's become, and it is, a really important part of the overall franchise ecosystem that we're creating. And I think it's worth just talking about that a bit. You know, since the last few calls, we've been discussing bringing our community together through a number of player-focused initiatives. And that started with cross-play, so all the friends can just get together no matter what platform you're on. It was about the free content to our community at the same time. And it was about kind of the new deterministic content system we put in the game. And of course, in the backdrop here, you have Modern Warfare, which has been just a fantastic game that gets better over time. And then what we really did is amplified all this with the launch of Warzone, you know, our massive scale battle royale experience. And when you look at Warzone, it was definitely built to provide endless fun on its own and to stand on its own as a great game. But Warzone and Modern Warfare are also obviously connected in many ways, including through, you know, shared progression systems, game systems, and content offerings. And what we're seeing right now in Warzone is a large number of players choosing to upgrade to the premium Modern Warfare game and experience everything that the Modern Warfare universe has to offer. And so far, you know, the number of upgrades to premium that we're seeing are definitely above our initial expectations, and that's really great to see. And also across, you know, this universe, the Modern Warfare universe, from an engagement perspective, we're also seeing franchise highs now in daily average unique players, peak concurrent players, and overall player investment has been indicated on the call so far. So regarding the future of Warzone, we know how much the community is loving it. We know how much they're enjoying the experience so far. So we're going to continue to invest in this significantly in terms of content, events,
Okay,
new
so they're going to
modes,
keep
new
it
ways
going
to play,
past COD
and
2020.
really just a ton
confirmed?
more in the future. And to follow up on the last part of your question, I think what I would say is, you know, yes, we believe it has the potential to positively impact future premium games as well. And so we're excited about that opportunity. And before I jump off, I would also just like to thank all our Activision publishing, development teams, and all our employees for keeping all of our critical projects on track. This shift to work from home has been a massive logistical exercise across the organization, and the teams have done just an outstanding job. And I just wanted to close this question by, you know, a big thank you to them. But again, Mario, thanks for the question. I appreciate it.
Great. Thank you.
Mario. Operator, can we have the next question, please?
Our next question comes from Garrett Johnson from BMO Capital Markets. Please go ahead with your question.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Hey, so you guys think increased engagement with video games owing to the stay-at-home trend and COVID-19 will be sustainable? Do you see a swing perhaps back in the other direction once we return back to normal?
Hey, Garrett, it's Dennis. Thanks. That's obviously a super important question and really applicable. Clearly, it's obviously a scenario we'd all love to see, which is life returning to back to normal as soon as possible. But the reality is that we really don't know what a new normal will look like once that comes to pass. It does seem like that there's a likelihood that even once shelter at home ends, that it may be a fair amount of time before people are really returning to normal as we know it. So we do think that there is potentially an acceleration to the structural change that we've seen in consumer entertainment consumption patterns that we've already been seeing in gaming. And that trend could persist for the long term, which would obviously benefit social yet socially distant categories like gaming. We've already seen this with the younger generation of consumers, where gaming is more an integrated part of their social and entertainment fabric. And times like these will make that activity, we believe, even more mainstream. We're obviously trying to lean into this and welcome as many players into our ecosystem as possible. And bring more gamers into our communities and give them a compelling experience that hopefully turns them into long-term fans. We don't really have any great data points right now on what happens to consumption when people return from shelter at home, but we have seen in Asia that the strong momentum continues even as they've started to transition back. So we hope that's a sign of the similar opportunity we may have in other parts of the world as they start to return to normal as well. So generally speaking, we think there's a pretty big opportunity here to see and then acceleration in the long-term structural shifts that we've already seen from the existing heightened engagement. But as usual, we're always trying to be prudent in how we model that because we know there are still so many unknowns at this time.
Great. Thank you very much.
Operator, can we have the next question, please?
Our next question comes from Ryan Gee from Bank of America. Please go ahead with your question.
Hey, good afternoon. Thanks for the question. Fantastic quarter, you guys. I was hoping you could provide a little more color on the subscriber trends for WoW during the period, and specifically how you see the opportunity to sustain this larger base post-Classic as you move towards the Shadowlands expansion. Thanks.
Hi, this is Jay. Thank you for the question. Before I answer, I want to take a step back and just say, we're really thankful
They
that
skimmed
our
over it,
games
Michael,
are able
but
to
I think they'll
play
get back to it.
a part in helping bring people together.
We're waiting for the
during
COD 2020
what's
stuff
really
as
an
well.
unprecedented and challenging time for us all. World of Warcraft is it's been fortunate to be engineered as a very social experience, and that's as true today as, the day we launched. Over time, we listened to feedback from the community, and the game has evolved to what we now call the modern game, which has really expanded the breadth and the depth of gameplay, as well as making it easier to kind of find friends, group up, make progress, or play alone, all within the social environment. At the same time, we've seen a lot of good work and good returning experience for players returning to the classic WoW experience. So today we think about World of Warcraft as a single community under one subscription where players can enjoy both WoW Classic and Modern WoW, and we release a steady stream of content for both. In a variety of different experiences.
I think it'll be Call of Duty Vietnam, yeah.
And it's been good to see players resonate with players as they see a lot of what they're looking for in World of Warcraft. We've seen particularly strong engagement with Classic in the East, and the momentum has continued in those regions even as they have started to come back to work. And we saw Western subscribers grow in March, driven by players returning to Modern WoW primarily. And this has contributed to strong pre-sales for Shadowlands. The momentum we saw in March across both modes continues, with the active community growing faster than it ever has, and that's outside of an expansion launch period. On the development side, our teams have done a really good job shifting work from home. We're able to welcome select players into the closed alpha for Shadowlands last month, and thanks to the hard work of the team, Shadowlands is on track to launch in Q4 of this year. And lastly, before I hand off the call, I'll hand off to the next question. I really want to thank all the Blizzard employees during this difficult time. It's been really amazing to kind of see
What's
everyone
up,
come
Gayla?
together
Really
in
appreciate you coming through, bro.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ryan. Operator, can we have the next question, please?
Our next question comes from Doug Creutz from Cowen. Please go ahead with your question.
Hey, thank you. You talked a bit about the pressure side of things. I was wondering if you could go into a little more detail there. What are you seeing in terms of your CPMs? And then along with that, is there any offset on your user acquisition side? Because presumably you're acquiring users through a lot of the same channels, that similar channels to your advertising. Thanks.
Hey, Doug, this is Umam. Thanks so much for the question.
Yo.
So we exited 2019, as you heard, with strong momentum in the ads business, and that's continued in Q1.
What's up, Galo?
Where we saw in the quarter
through,
that
I see
we
your message.
delivered over 75% year-on-year growth. And
BO3
as you mentioned
zombies
in
and
the
multiplayer
question,
was great.
we saw deceleration towards the end of March within the broader advertising ecosystem. But the business did grow 20% year-on-year in April, or over 20% in April. So let me answer your question by talking about a little bit of what we're doing going forward. think about the things that we're already doing and what must continue, and that's about rolling out more ads to more players, broadening our advertiser base, and working with more partners as we continue to build our tech infrastructure. But now we're actually increasing some focus areas.
Can we get 20 likes on the stream?
we
We're 2
see
off.
as,
Appreciate it.
kind of in the short and medium term will provide opportunities. So we're going to the brand advertisers and doubling down on the relationships in those sectors that aren't experiencing slowdowns, and they are experiencing actually sustained demand for their products. So the team is quite active there. We're also starting to leverage quite a bit of advertiser interest in very differentiated products like the sponsorship product that we have, which was new to our ecosystem, and seeing some really nice advertiser interest. And that really amplifies the value proposition of the King network in this environment. And then we are rolling out new technology in our games, and that's become the focus that allows us to really optimize our demand and get higher CPMs for the ads that we are showing. And that's
See,
been a
they
focus,
even talking about
in this quarter and
CPMs, which is
continues to be
interesting.
for the year. So if you add that, plus you look at our network, which is truly global and international, what we're doing is we're looking at it as a pretty diversified set of opportunities. So when regions are starting to experience some recovery before others, we focus our efforts there as the opportunity may sit geographically in some places at a certain point in time. So with all of that, my expectation is that the advertising business does deliver growth this year. On your point on acquisition costs,
I think the inventory campaign will come as well,
so
remastered.
what we're seeing is while we see that some advertisers are behind the smart as King are seeing an opportunity
You're
to
up for
bring
us.
new
All good,
players
bro. Appreciate you coming through.
more efficiently than ever our network. And you couple that with a very different approach.
Yeah, I told you. He's trying to run.
It's good for us for the medium and long term. So when we do that, of course, that reinforces kind of both the in-app side of the house, the game business, and the advertising number as we continue to invest in the network. So yeah, again, kind of to echo a lot of what my colleagues have said. And
Your Thrust and everyone else in the chat, make sure to open up my Twitch and watch it from there, or just leave it running in the background. I'm trying to get the average viewership up on my Twitch.
We've really not missed a beat as we have experienced something quite remarkable in going to work from home pretty quickly. And so a big thanks from me for the team and the incredible work that they're doing.
Thank you.
Operator, can we have the next question, please?
Our next question comes from Kunal Mald from Atlantic Equities. Please go ahead with your question.
Hi, thanks for taking the question. There's clearly very strong momentum in the business right now, but given the broader economic pressures from COVID-19, how are you thinking about the potential risks to consumer spending trends over the next few quarters?
Yeah. I know it's you, Liam.
Thanks for the question.
Yeah.
Obviously,
It's your
we're in
old name.
kind of uncharted waters, and there's not really any precedent for what's going on right now in the economy, which definitely makes us cautious and careful, maybe more so than
I'm going to talk a lot more after the
relatively
after the
speaking,
stream.
however, we do feel pretty good about the value proposition of our content, even in tough times. There's not great past precedents, obviously, for where we are, but you can look at least back to the past two market dislocations in 2001 and 2008, directional indication of how gaming has performed in challenging economic times. And what we've seen is that consumer recreational spending in the U.S., for example, was fairly resilient during those downturns. And if you hone in a little more specifically on entertainment, the global gaming industry fared extremely well and actually grew low to mid-single digits in these time periods, whereas broader consumer recreational spending declined low single digits.
Yeah, this is a proper
and we think that's driven by the low cost.
Bro, we have Liam with a $15 donor, the legend.
Other forms of entertainment.
Bro,
And
you
so,
know you didn't have to do
if you
that.
compare that to the situation we're in now, where other forms of location-based entertainment,
What's up,
like going to
Hammerman? How you
movies,
doing, bro?
concerts, sporting events,
legend.
whatever those may be, and they may not be available for some time to.
We're just
for
listening to the
consumers for
investors
some
call right
period
now,
of time.
Liam. So I'm gonna.
This may also
I'm
drive
just
some
being a little
share
bit
shift to
quiet so
gaming
people
from
can
those
listen.
other
This guy
categories.
talking right now is talking about boring
and thankfully,
stuff.
in contrast to other forms of media, we're very fortunate that the digital nature of our business enables us to not only to distribute content remotely, but to produce it remotely. So obviously an advantage for us to keep our content fresh. Another point is in those past recessions in 2001 and 2008, gaming's come a long way since then. Obviously, it's much more social and more connected and more mainstream. And our business is much more
Gage, we had
diversified,
some
too,
just
across
before, but they're
platforms,
going to get into it
geographies,
even
types of
more
games,
after this
which is helpful when
these
times
questions,
get
I think.
challenging.
So we're just
On
waiting.
the flip side, there obviously are more free ways for players to play games than there have been.
And some
So,
COD 2020,
there
which is
could
going to be
more
really
engagement
interesting
with
as well.
slightly weaker monetization. But in the long term, we kind of view that as an opportunity as well because that usually normalizes itself. So I'd say there's puts and takes across the spectrum, but which is why, with all this uncertainty in the economy, we've tried to reflect these risks as we think about forecasting the business. But the strong momentum we're seeing gives us obviously
Can't believe
confidence in
Liam,
raising
bro,
our
honestly,
outlook
he's
even
such
with
a
this
fucking good
challenging
lad.
backdrop.
Thank you.
Thanks, Fidel. Operator, can we have the next question,
Okay,
please?
hopefully this is a COD question. Come on.
Our next question comes from Eric Handler from MKM Partners. Please go ahead with your question.
Thank you very much for the question, and glad everyone is healthy. Follow up on Call of Duty. I wonder if you could talk a little bit how the funnel of players has widened for Call of Duty with the release now of mobile and Warzone, and along those lines, how much overlap is there for players between the three games, and what does that mean for overall spending? Basically, what I'm trying to get at is the spending per player additive when they play multiple games?
Hey, Eric, it's Rob. Thanks. I'll take the question. I think it's important to probably first just step back and think about what our goal's been through all this. And the goal's been pretty simple. And what we wanted to do is provide players around the world
They just
a real
want that
fun,
money
high
for-
quality, and I think importantly, an authentic Call of Duty experience, regardless of what platform you play on, where you happen to live, or what business model really motivates you to play. And that's exactly what we've delivered across mobile, across console, and across PC. And if you look at some of the metrics over the last 6 months, have you seen, in Q4 and both in Q1, we've crossed over
25 likes on
100
stream,
million
we're at
MAUs
23 right now. Thanks a
and
lot.
dramatically
Appreciate it.
increasing our player base. And a lot of that's been driven by mobile and Warzone, of course, as is the ongoing success of Modern Warfare driving that. But through mobile and Warzone, we're definitely reaching new audiences and new geographies in ways that we just haven't before. And as I look at
Which
Call
is
of Duty
really
right
good
now,
for the next COD,
it's
lads.
more global today than at any point in its time in its history in terms of audience profile, and that's pretty exciting for us to see. So a little bit on your question on engagement, and for us, when it comes to engagement, what we've seen really time and time again is that engagement just tends to drive engagement. And so
What's up,
for us,
Caleb? Appreciate you
exposure on
coming
one
through, bro. Are you off to
platform
bed?
is driving engagement across other platform and other experiences. So we actually like to see that crossover a lot. And in terms of the investment part of your question, that also is looking additive to us across this ecosystem as well. In the previous question, I talked about Warzone and how we're seeing that as being accretive to the franchise overall. And with respect to COD Mobile, then specifically, when you take a look at it, we're seeing really great momentum there. It was referenced earlier that Season 5 just concluded, and it's our best performing season in terms of engagement and in-game performance.
He said Season 5,
since
he
the
doesn't
first
mean
season. And Season 6 just launched on May 1st, and so that's off to a really strong start as well.
Oh, he's talking about
So
the
for me,
Warzone
when I
season,
look
my
at it
bad.
and I see the positive trends
I mean
on
the
mobile
Modern Warfare season.
as a platform are coming at a time we're having record engagement.
So we got
and
confirmation,
record
lad, there's going to be
performance
2 more
across console and
seasons before next
PC.
COD
And
2020
to
drops,
me,
just
that's
so you
a
guys
pretty
know if you
clear
missed that. That's
indication that what we're
important
seeing
as.
on Call of Duty Mobile is delivering, incremental results for the franchise as well. So the ecosystem, the way we're looking at it right now, seems to be working incredibly well. And in terms of mobile, in terms of our strategy, it remains a critical part of our overall plans going forward and a key investment area for us. And, just speaking of the ecosystem, I probably just close by, obviously a very exciting time for everyone on the franchise right now. And our teams are hyper-focused and passionately focused, most importantly, on delivering, great new content and seasons and games to our growing community around the world that we're seeing right now. And I guess I would just close by saying we couldn't be
I agree,
more
Michael, that
thankful
would be dope.
for the incredible and growing community that we're seeing out there around the world, for their trust and support.
We've
and
ended up 2
we look
maps as
forward
well.
to everything that's to come in the future. So thanks for the question.
I mean locations.
Thanks, Eric.
Okay, next
Can we have the
question. Next
please?
question.
Our next question comes from Alexia Quadrani from JP Morgan. Please go ahead with your question.
Hi, this is David Karnowski on for Alexia. Thanks so much for taking the question. Can you just expand a little bit on what impact you're seeing to your pipeline, both near and long term, from having developers work at home? Thanks.
Sure, and this is Daniel, and thanks for the question. Look, the vast majority of our developers, they moved to remote work by mid-March, as I mentioned in my opening remarks. And really, just credit to all those involved. It was such a huge undertaking. Multifunctional teams across facilities, IT, HR, security operations, and other groups really rallied together to make it all happen. And we're really fortunate to be in a truly digital business where the majority of our content creation really can be performed across any location. So the vast majority of our developers, they took their computers home, plugged into secure access, and just kept creating. So in some cases, we've had to move high-end computing and graphic rigs to our developers' homes as well, but we were able to do that relatively quickly. So our development teams working on everything from design to art to engineering to production really had most of what they needed to keep working.
Yeah, Liam, if you go in the description of the stream, I have a Discord, bro.
And there are aspects of building our
I'll
games
give you
that
powers
are more
when you get in
challenging
there
via remote work, like
after the stream. I
collaborative
need all my
design,
mods in there and stuff as well.
in-person
Oh,
user
you don't have
research,
mod on
motion
this.
capture,
Why not?
voiceover, and QA. So we've really had to find some creative solutions to work through these, like
it always goes
for record voiceovers. We did that remotely. We've also enabled new secure access systems for some of the functions where large groups are engaging. But so far, and based on what we can see, and with true ingenuity and creativity from the teams, we're managing through this as best as we can. And you know what's really important is we just need to continue to provide our communities with the innovative content and features that they love
right now, lad.
and that they want to keep playing. So that's why I said in my prepared remarks that we're currently still on track to deliver our key content in the second half of this year. And my primary focus is to ensure that we continue to execute on these top priorities.
And I would just add, I think that our teams are doing an extraordinary job right now on continuing to stay focused, work hard, deliver great content, but it is a challenging process. We still have a lot of uncertainty for the future, and I think that it's hard to know a year from now or 2 years from now what the impacts of all of this will be on our development processes, on the way we go to market, on the economics of selling games. So, you know, there more to come as we have more clarity over the next few months, but you know, we remain focused on execution of our strategy, and I think that our teams are doing a truly extraordinary job of accomplishing that.
Yeah, they're doing really well to
Operator, can we have the next question?
Operate through all this. I agree.
Our next question comes from Alex Gialmo from Jefferies. Please go ahead with your question.
Great. Thanks for taking the question. Was hoping to get a bit more color on the Hearthstone franchise. Maybe if some of the recent updates you've rolled out have been well received, and if you're seeing any notable change within the competitive landscape. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for the question. This is Jay. I want to take those in reverse order. So, you know, we think about competition. Blizzard is full of gamers, and we're always excited when new games are
Liam and Two Roaches in here. What the fuck is going on?
New titles are good for players. They bring fresh ideas.
Got Midnight in the Twitch chat. Appreciate it, bro. We need all those people on Twitch. Roaches, if you know.
The industry is big
this guy's
enough
talking about a different
for lots of
Activision
different
game right now,
teams
so
to
we
be
can talk over top of him. If
And we
Liam
found that
and
if
Two
we
Roaches and anyone else in the chat can open up my
gameplay
Twitch,
first, and then we
I'm trying to get
continue to
affiliate on
listen to
there.
our
That'd be
community feedback.
appreciate it.
You know, we
6,
experienced
we're
it
just waiting. It's gonna
so,
all the COD
you know, I'm really
2020 and the end
proud
of
of the
2 news
Hearthstone
hopefully is about to
team
come.
and
So
what
we're
they've
just waiting for that right
accomplished,
now.
especially recently. You know, under the leadership
But while you're
with
waiting,
an
go drop a follow on my
expanded
Twitch, bro.
development
I'd
team,
appreciate it.
They've delivered larger content updates to players and have really maintained a high quality bar that we've set for ourselves. We rolled out the first major.
My boy
new
Liam
game
just
mode,
donated
which was
$15 to Roaches,
Battlegrounds
and then
in
you.
November,
Oh,
we
I'm gonna go
talked
down.
about.
All the
And we've
you
seen
had
it
those
bring
mad
players
donations
back
the other
and
day. You guys
continue
are
to
being way
drive
too generous
renewed
lately. It's
engagement
insane.
in the game.
All the OGs,
And then
Liam,
last
Two
month,
Roaches,
we launched
everyone's
the
coming
latest
back, bro.
expansion,
It's
which
so
was
sick to
Ashes
see.
of
I can't wait
Outland,
for Black
and
Ops
that's
5
the
Zombies.
first game that we've launched while we were in a working from home environment. And that expansion introduced the game's first new class. So it's the first new class that ever been added to the game since launch, the Demon Hunter, and brought about really some of the biggest fundamental changes that the game has seen to date. The sentiment around the new features.
Yo, Zerko, what the fuck? My boy coming through. That's an OG right there. That's talking years back. How you doing, Zerko, bro? Fuck.
The Hearthstone team.
We're just listening to this COD Investicle. He's talking about some boring ass fucking RPG game right now, so we can talk over top of it. But when we get the next question, I will be going quiet again. Cheers, Ryan. Appreciate it, bro. If you want to keep that tab open, I'm getting my average viewership up for the affiliate. We should be getting this MW2 news here in about 5-10 minutes. If it's not MW2 news, it will be COD 2020. Oh, here we go. Next question.
Thanks. Operator, we have time for one last question.
Go on.
Our final question today comes from Brian Nowak from Morgan Stanley. Please go ahead with your question.
Damn it.
Thanks for taking my question. Hey guys, good to hear your voices. I just had one on King. You know, the user number was really strong. I think you added over 20 million, like 24 million users quarter over quarter. Maybe talk to us how you think about some of the key strategies you have to sort of develop and roll out to really retain those new players, and then how do you think about converting those new players into payers over time?
Hey, Brian. It's Humam. Thanks for the question. So let me first step back and set the context of what we're seeing here in Q1. You heard us talk about it, which is in the past few quarters, you know, we've been focusing on growing that audience of players and also payers. And so in Q3 and Q4 last year, we grew the Candy player base. And then in Q3, we started introducing, you know, initiatives that are aimed at broadening the payer reach across the network, which started improving the payer conversion mechanics in the second half of last year. So back then when we did that, you heard me talk about that there would be a trade-off in the near-term bookings, but we thought that's the right thing to do for the business, for the long-term health of that business. So we've seen that through the introduction of the right content and timely offers contextually placed, more players start coming into the ecosystem and more payers start coming into the ecosystem. So in Q1, we went further with that approach, both on content and on offer management. And we started broadening our reach of the player investment initiatives. So we started building on top of that momentum in Candy, and we started expanding to all of our network in Q1. And so as that player base started growing steadily in the quarter, we started seeing kind of that momentum build, and in March we saw even further acceleration. And then on the payer conversion, we started seeing some really encouraging results in Q1. And in fact, in Q1 we saw the strongest sequential improvement in payers that we've seen in many years. So the trends have really kind of started looking very favorable, and that's improved in April. So I'm really pleased with how the ecosystem has been building up, not just in Q1, but all the things that we've been doing from a content perspective and from a player engagement mechanics perspective in the past few quarters to get to here. So when I look ahead, you'll expect us to continue to do this. You'll expect content from us.
No,
to
Cody.
to expect,
Fucking my boy
more ways
Liam
that we'll
Thrust has been
optimize
around since I
offerings for
started streaming
different
BO4.
players.
It's just YouTube's been
go after
auto
those
removing
broader
my
motivations. And the good news here is that you won't see the drag on Q2 bookings that we would have otherwise
We've already had some
expected
new
because of
spares,
this really strong engagement
that
we're seeing. And then we add on top of that.
People don't realize I have this thing where I can see who drops it.
As I just answered before. So, I think the combination of all of those really kind of tend to the network. And then where we continue to keep the players active is really about what the King team does incredibly well, which is innovating the content pipeline and the features within what's happening in the game to keep these players engaged and continue to kind of drive towards players and payer numbers increasing over time. So that's kind of, I think, the what you're seeing now, but it's kind of the combination of everything that we've been building over the past few quarters.
All right.
Great. Thanks.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks, Brian. Thanks, Imam. Thanks, everyone, for joining us today. We greatly appreciate your interest and participation, and look forward to speaking with many of you throughout the quarter. Please do stay safe, and we'll hopefully see you all in game. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that does conclude today's conference call. We do thank you for joining. You may now disconnect.
Okay, we got
your line.
some a little bit information about COD 2020, but no. And a little they had a mention of Modern Warfare 2. I guess we're gonna hop in the Discord call now and
Sad.
we're
The
gonna
game's not delayed.
hop back in and talk to the
Yeah,
lads.
well,
Yo,
that's one thing.
lads.
We got a
That's
release
one
date.
thing.
We got a
Matt-
fucking release date.
It's-
That's about it.
Yeah,
Oh,
it is
Matt
this
says on the bottom.
delayed. Here we go. It's not delayed.
There wasn't much, but even the stuff about the Warzone seasons is fairly interesting. Like,
So we have two
Did they say
seasons
we're getting
before-
2 in? We're getting 2 new seasons this quarter.
That's still something. Like I said, chat, I brought this up in a couple of videos of mine. I said, hey, they could say the bare minimum, which is that if the game's getting delayed, would lead developers. There's still, and this confirms it's Treyarch. They don't want to tell you that it's Treyarch because they're worried that it's gonna get negative reception like Black Ops 4 did. So that almost tells you that they still don't want to talk about it.
Do you think they're
if it was
trying to-
Sledgehammer, they would have said,
Do you think
yeah,
they're
World War
trying to do
IV is
the
one of the
Dead
most
of the
successful
Night?
games. They're coming back for a new game. They don't even want to tell you it's Sledgehammer. That fucking confirms it right there. That's
Do you think they're trying to do the whole big surprise thing where they stand up at a reveal? It's like, it's Treyarch.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, one thing that we can take
they
away
made
is
so much money right off Modern Warfare and Warzone that I don't think they want to take that attention off of it just yet. I think they want to have the first live event happen.
But
Then they
to
want to
be-
dive into some deep marketing.
To be
I think
honest, we're fine with that. We can be patient for that shit. Honestly, if it helps them
Yeah.
grow the COD community back up again, and for the next game, like I'll wait. Like it's all good. Yeah, I've completely understand that. You know,
I'm patient. I'm patient right now.
I
this
think
was the biggest waste of an hour of life. Though. I'm just putting.
It's just it's very apparent that the numbers are talking and they can give two shits if there's conspiracies saying that, oh yeah, Treyarch's leading. They don't care. They're doing
Just
the thing.
don't make another blackout for Treyarch.
Let Treyarch.
Just let them spend all that time on zombies and make it actually fucking good.
Well, here's the good news though. It's confirmed that Warzone's getting updates even when this game drops.
next year,
which is
They
great.
said-
But if that means more attention on zombies, that's perfect.
Yeah.
But if that means
I
if
think
that
Raven
means
is
like
gonna
less
update
time,
Warzone.
if that means less time development on the game in general, that's not good. If it's more time for the other modes,
I mean,
that's
but
what we
less time has gone into the game in general. It's a 2-year cycle.
Yeah, it's already. Yeah, so I
Less
think
time has
Yeah,
gone
but
into
Black
the game.
Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 are both amazing on 2 years.
I know, exactly. People always say all this shit. You know what's really funny
bigger's not always
is
better.
people
Yeah.
only ever talk about the development time if the game turns out shit. Bro, straight up. There was heaps of problems with Black Ops 3 that stuff was
Lots.
coming out before
Yeah.
launch. Nobody
didn't
talks
talk-
about that shit anymore because that game went down in history
Yeah.
as a great.
So,
I think more
no,
goes
here's the thing
into
too, though. I think
goes
if
into
gonna be
making a
Treyarch
game
updates
now than the
in
10
COD
years.
2020, I think Raven could lead that. Treyarch might not even have to do anything for Warzone. Raven might be able to do all that shit.
But the thing is, more like even though both.
Yo, what's up, Melissa? Appreciate you coming through. Thanks to Roaches. Yeah, he's the man, bro. He's one of my true supporters. Appreciate you coming through.
Oh, dude. Once again.
Liam,
Yeah.
once again, thank you for the $15 dono, bro. I appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate everybody that came out for that. We can still talk a little bit more, but yeah, I mean, every time they do a call, I mean, you never know, because I think it wasn't last call, but the call before that, there's been calls where they talked a lot about Call of Duty. This one was kind of like Warzone's killing it, COD Mobile's killing it, COD 2020 is not
They
delayed.
talked a
There's another
lot
call
about
where
mobile.
they
They
talked
talked a lot about mobile.
What I find
It's
really
really
interesting is that
Yeah.
they said you can go answer your questions and stuff, but all those fucking calls were scripted as fuck, bro. They were all like, oh, yo,
No,
thanks
I
for,
called.
thanks
Listen,
for.
And they're all from banks, too.
Yeah, they're all for
bro, I mean,
corporations and
called,
banks.
And they told me, give me
The
your
best
full
they
name
called.
and your company. And I said my name and I said YouTube content creator. What am I gonna lie and say I'm a bank? I'm like, I can't do that. So
Dkdynamite
they
bank
answered.
here.
I have a Bank of America, so I say I have Bank of America. I don't know what the fuck do I say.
I mean, if it's a bank, that
Yeah, I'm a customer of Bank of America.
realistically, if it's a bank, it's probably their biggest investors, so they are going to take that call.
100%. But people in my chat are like, it's probably scripted. We don't even know. The call is just like for publicity stunt.
But yeah, it's just like waste your time. They always do shit like that, bro. It's so annoying. Like they're real. They're real.
It's not for fan question. It's not built for that. It's built for people who are like worried about where their money's going.
You know, and when the fans do answer the questions, all the developers don't really know how to answer them, and they get skittish as. Like, you know, when Treyarch did that Q&A, even the one Jason did was a bit fucking weird and awkward. You know, like
One of the things he promised just never came.
Yeah, I think that they have to play it a certain way where they don't want to have like casuals, or so to speak, or even content creators asking questions that they know we want to know about. They're kind of worried.
That almost needs to be its own thing. Like, I can get that this has to be its own thing where investors only get that opportunity every 3 months to ask questions, and they need to know where their money's going. They need to separate thing to ask fan questions.
Let me close this tab out.
What happens when you call them?
There we go.
Were you just on hold or what?
Yeah, I mean, it's.
Did you actually speak to a person at any point?
Yes, a person, actual person. I mean, it could have been a robot. I just sounded so legit. He said, "Hey, can I get your name and company, please?" He kind of stuttered a bit. That's why I thought it was a real person. I figured it was.
Robot was stuttering.
Yeah, can I get your name and your company? Like, he kind of like. What?
I reckon you should have said you're from Sony.
Just say I'm from Sony. But I'm sure they looked the name up real quick before you get your question answered. I don't know.
Did they ask what your question was going to be?
No, they said wait your turn in line, then ask your question. I thought I may have had a shot. I mean, I think my mistake was calling too late. I should have called right when the call started. I called like a couple.
No, it's probably a queue.
What would you have asked?
Yeah, the queue. Who knows what the queue is? I wish they could just tell you.
Yeah,
hey,
did you have a question in mind?
Okay, I wasn't okay. The questions I was thinking of, I was trying to ask two things in one question. Like, I was gonna be like, are you ready to share who the lead developer is for COD 2020? And if so, what is your outlook for zombies going forward since this year took a year off? People are gonna be like, oh, ask about Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer, and I'm like, I doubt they want to talk about that.
They've commented on that. All they do is they say the same comment of, we have no plans.
Imagine if you
did they even mention Modern Warfare 2? I didn't hear one thing
about
it.
They did. They mentioned
they basically said
when they were talking about the sales of their products, they mentioned how Modern Warfare 2 Remastered did well and it was a great thing. Talking about how a culture thing for Call of Duty or something like that.
And also,
it's funny how Charlie Intel knows it's a Treyarch game. They freaking know it, and they're still not gonna publicly announce it yet. I don't know what they're worried. I think they really do believe that faith in Treyarch is dead. I think that's what they think at this point. That they can't even say that. Like, you would think they're ready to surprise us and tell us it's a Treyarch game because of how crazy Treyarch is.
Well, bro,
you would think they're ready to say that.
Like, if
they keep reinforcing how this game's in a good state. They never normally do that. They're aware of the rumors.
I think, dude, they're like, oh, please believe us. The game's fine. We're still working,
because they never say that.
Yeah,
they don't say that, but they
I'm
keep repeating that.
People, like, the thing that sucks is, like, people are just like, oh, just wait for the next game. Like, Treyarch is like, I'm not gonna wait around just till there's a fucking good game. If this next game's shit and the zombies are shit, I'm not doing fucking YouTube or anything anymore. It's fucking, honestly.
No, I know there's so many, like, there's Batman games, there's DC games, there's so much stuff coming out that, like, I'm not gonna. I mean, I'll stick with COD as long as I can, but if they keep spitting at us with, like, pathetic decisions, I'm gonna look at other. Other opportunities.
Like, what you said earlier, DK, I think is dead on. If they need to nail zombies in this game, or that.
Oh yeah, if it's not nailed, it's dead. Oh, dude, I think
it could legit, not just in terms of community's dead this time. Like, if it flops, it's possible they don't come back.
Yeah, no, I actually believe they sat down and said, look, we're taking a year off of zombies. Let's see if it's like a refresh for next year. And when it comes back, it's gonna be the decision maker. Will zombies continue in Call of Duty, or will we continue with just straight free to play open world battle royales and
just
not
focus? Just focus on the multiplayer.
Well, stuff that's selling more microtransactions than zombies ever did. BO3 microtransactions were probably through the roof for zombies, but I don't think BO4 hit that
the
well.
popularity of battle royales has been decreasing.
Exactly, that's another thing too. It's been decreasing.
Overall,
Warzone kind of rejuvenated that, which is weird.
Yeah, Warzone's popping.
It's so weird.
Battle Royale has been dropping because basically all the major companies now have put out a battle royale. EA have done one, Epic have done one now, Activision have. Every company has put one out, and Fortnite, which was the biggest one, has kind of went into the shitter.
Yeah,
and Warzone really brought back the genre.
I think that they should definitely update Warzone as much as they can, because it just keeps the Call of Duty title hot until the next release. And like, even though like a lot of people aren't a fan of the BR, it's healthy for the game. So
it's probably got a massive.
Well, here's the thing, right? Raven already helped Treyarch do all of Blackout pretty much, so I wouldn't be surprised if COD 2020 drops, Treyarch's fully focused on it, and Raven's like, all right, we're gonna add Treyarch things into Warzone. Treyarch doesn't have to do anything. Raven will handle it, while Treyarch leads the other stuff. When Sledgehammer's doing the multiplayer.
Give us an Origins robot walking across the map.
That would be such a sick live event.
Even the Icarus plane.
Oh
like,
my god, that would be the
that's
best. A robot walking across the map, and it could like destroy some stuff as it walked through. It would be such a sick live event.
What's interesting about what you said just before, DK, about how
absolutely,
like,
Joe Matt. Sorry to cut you off, Scott. Yeah, absolutely, Joe Matt. Have a wonderful night, man. Thank you. Go ahead.
How the zombies is going to be received and stuff. I was talking about it with the Z4C lads yesterday, and like, although Black Ops 3 is looked as one of the greats, Black Ops 3 didn't have a good reception from launch, and neither did Black Ops 2. Black Ops 2, bro, had transit then die rise. So Tim Henson's like, oh, first impressions DLC 1. Shut the fuck up, bro. You got no idea. BO2 zombies, Origins is mob. People love that shit. I love BO2 zombies, and die rise is the worst map ever.
BO2 is literally buried in Origins. If it wasn't for those
Think about this. They had Shang, and then Moon, and then Transit, and then
that's a pretty
four garbage maps in a row.
And like, if you think about it, Black Ops 1's the only COD and the last COD we've had where zombies was loved on launch. So if they do what we hope and they really knuckle down, they go, shit, we have to bang it out like this time, and we have a good launch zombies mode. We haven't seen that in ages. That will completely change the game. People will be interested in it from day one, which is crazy. And with
also, if they make zombies maps free for everyone, then way more people would play it too, and the community would grow.
I agree.
And also,
I don't know what the chances are, but true crossplay. But I think they need to ditch the season pass.
Yeah, well, 1 second.
I don't know what
unsub and resub to make sure that I turned it back on. I want to make sure it's working though.
I don't know what realistically their plan's going to be there. Like, I think multiplayer maps will still be free. I don't know what they're going to do for zombies. I'd hope.
I feel like there'll be like a subscription pass of some sort.
Zombie season pass.
Yeah, I think that'll.
Or they just make a zombies only battle pass.
Another theory, right? There's 3 remakes left on hold. Transit Die Rise Buried. Drop those 3 for free periodically, and you pay for the new experiences.
Yeah, perfect.
That makes more
That's
sense.
Fine. That's fine, bro. That's what they should have
sense.
fucking done with BO4. New maps every DLC. Alpha Trash Omega free, and then fucking
yes,
bro.
Both Sams agree on that. Oh my god.
It's not that bad of a map.
I really hate it.
The lore in Alpha is beautiful, but I ain't playing a street, bro. I ain't just playing a street.
Yes.
Bro, oh my god.
I mean, tacky elemental ray guns. Like Easter egg steps, like brain rot this painting, bro. Fuck, that's awesome. Sick.
The Avogadro was cool. I mean, the thing is though, it's like.
I mean, that's literally the Voyage Easter egg too.
Yeah, but Voyage is trash as well. So.
Here's the thing, right?
They're all like that. They're all soul box challenges.
Instead of the work on gauntlets, what if they literally would have just added like health updates, Newton's cookbook, more cosmetics, more rewards and unlocks? Like, I think they know that we want more game modes, but I think they fail to realize that we also want more replayability in these maps, not just do a main Easter egg, get a cutscene, done with the map to the next one.
Yeah,
I mean, fun side Easter eggs and great gameplay.
You see, the problem is if there's no season pass. The thing with a season pass is it commits them, right? Like, no matter what, they are committed to putting out 4 zombies maps. I feel like if zombies maps had been free in BO4, then it's possible it could have gone the way Spec Ops has already done.
Yeah, but it would definitely help. But them giving zombies maps out for free is a huge loss in profits. Like that's insane. But the thing is, Greg is right. With crossplay, next gen, and free zombies maps, the zombies community will be huge again. It will be BO2, BO3 size.
And, by the way, and add customs to that because Xbox Series X could run Steam. So you're playing customs on BO3 as well. That'll still be hot because BO3 is backwards compatible. That's insane. That is insane.
If they do that, that will literally I'll be so grateful.
Think
to
about
Activision
it. Think about it this way too. You can play whatever console you want, and there'll always be like large numbers on any map if you ever want to play. They need to add a competitive like grief, and then there'll be players all the time.
Everywhere.
And you can play it on whatever console you want.
I was told that turn for BO4 wasn't wasted. They literally just reused it for Pandemic and Blackout, which I think makes sense.
If they wanted to ditch the mutations thing, could an LTM type system fit zombies? And like basically have an LTM that has like some of what we do the mutations on, like certain types of weapons only, say.
Right. Yeah. There's
could they do it an LTM thing?
I think we're in a really interesting spot because Sony and Activision signed a contract saying we want 3 Modern Warfare games remastered and have exclusivity for PlayStation. That's done. In return, they want to have Call of Duty, of course, bundled with PS5 with a cool bundle, which we haven't seen yet. We haven't seen with PS5.
We haven't even seen the console yet.
We haven't seen the console yet. So I mean, there's millions of dollars on the table right now for these deals. And Modern Warfare 3 is coming. Like there's so much happening. It's insane, dude.
I wonder when we're gonna see BO5 then, because don't forget, if it was Sky's theories right about them not wanting to take attention off Modern Warfare until like that live event's done, then that's probably not next month.
Okay, here's another thing. The live event could be for COD 2020. It's like a big fucking title reveal in the sky or something. The nuke goes off and you see like the name of the game, like something like that.
The thing is, they said live events, like as in plural. So I think the first event definitely won't be BO5 related.
I think it'll be season 4. Yeah. I think it'll be season 4. We'll get something. I think it's gonna start off with a nuke event. I think.
Like everybody in chat, I'm gonna put this image on screen of Phase 1, the lineup for Phase 1 of game announcements from the guy who what's his name? I can't think of his name. The guy who runs E3. He's doing, whatever the hell his name is. He's doing a bunch of reveals. Activision's on that list, so he's without a doubt going to be involved in COD 2020's marketing.
Another thing about what Greg was saying is like with the zombies maps being free, right? Not only will it bring a huge player base, is like it will. A big part of zombies and like casual noob players enjoying the game is what builds the community pretty much is public matches. And public matches have been dead, even in BO3, bro, a hugely popular game. Like, especially for somewhere where I live, Australia and New Zealand, you cannot find a public match anymore. I'm sure you can find a few in America, but it's compared to BO2.
I can go on Xbox and find a game on Kino on Black Ops 1.
Yeah. Right? So
like people still play that. It's crazy.
And like
I think
with Warzone,
it's pros and cons though.
With Warzone, I've got all these like all my IRL friends that hardly play, like have a PlayStation, like Fortnite and free games. They're all playing Warzone right now. They're shit as fuck, but they're all playing it just because it's free, you know, and it's COD. So like, imagine all them being like all the zombies noobs playing the public playlist, bro. It will be so lit if it's free. Honestly, it'll be insane.
But they're still gonna have the $60 game.
Yeah, it's and then you have Sledgehammer's game thrown in the mix as well. Sledgehammer game's free to play COD in 2021. It's like what there's so much coming. It's like
that's why they could make Zombies a standalone game for free and then literally pay for new content and everyone would do it.
Or you know what else they can do? You know how they do the multiplayer free weekends? Make a zombie free weekend.
They did that in Black Ops 3 already.
Did they?
I think
it was DLC based and you could play the Horizon Jack.
Yeah, what I mean by that though is more like within, say they had an equivalent to Warzone, which being one area of the game that was standalone, allow free-to-play players to play a zombies map.
Yeah, exactly.
Like people who haven't even bought the game to play a zombies map just to try it out.
When is the Summer Game Fest? People are telling me there's something happening this Friday.
Summer Games Fest runs from now all the way until August. It's not really like E3. It's just kind of an overarching banner. Like
it's just marketing other stuff. That's it.
all
Activision's
these
on that
people are
list too, though. That's what's
all
crazy.
these people are doing their totally own events. It's just a way to promote and put all these
Yeah.
events in one place.
But it's so weird. It's because like, isn't Activision supposed to do something this month, or did it just get delayed to next month?
I'd imagine Activision's presence would be within the Sony event.
That's true. So that's next month then.
I wouldn't. I mean, assuming they did go with that whole thing.
They never wait this long to announce the next one, though.
Yeah, but we always know a developer by now. And
yeah, a developer by now. That's why we
yeah.
were.
That's why I say we can't really predict, because this is already so weird. We're switching from a 3-year cycle to a 2-year cycle.
I think
we don't have a clue who the developer is.
I think the only reason they're comfortable with the 2-year cycle is because you have Raven, Beanox, and Sledgehammer essentially like slapping our devs on the booty cheeks, helping them out with whatever they need. So
dude, if it's not Treyarch, oh my god.
Yeah, that will.
I don't think I can make another year of top 5 videos.
I'll tell you what, Greg. I'll tell you what though. If they really say it's not Treyarch, it's still gonna feel like it, because why are Mason and Woods in the first mission of the campaign? But how can you say it's not a Black Ops game?
Still, it's almost
That's
just
ridiculous.
like.
That's cringe.
Yeah, but that's leaked, not 100% confirmed. Like that's the problem with it.
Yeah, well, it's the same people. That
I agree. If it's not like an official title, I'll be really disappointed. I will be. But I'll still play it and upload content.
I mean, even it's gonna feel weird because it sounds like a weird game. It's this weird kind of hybrid of what started off as a Raven game and has become a Treyarch game.
I'll tell you what's funny, right? It's gonna be like a Cold War Vietnam and whatnot. So they already did a Cold War in Nuketown in Black Ops 4. They should have saved that. I thought of that recently. Matt was talking about that.
Bro, imagine if you load up
they could literally make Nuketown
Vietnam
any way they want.
That'd be funny if they did.
There's so many other ways to make Nuketown too.
Like Sledgehammer's supposed to be leading the multiplayer, which I like because I like World War II and Advanced
They
Warfare.
could do the Nuketown Zombies thing, but in multiplayer, just a totally destroyed version of it, but in a multiplayer.
But then that's Blackout Island.
They'll definitely manage Nuketown. But imagine if you load up BO5 Zombies and it's literally World War II Zombies Part 2 set in Vietnam.
No. Think about it this way too.
You have no idea how happy
they could do an earlier version of Nuketown, like Nuketown Vietnam or something like that.
That's what I was saying. That's Black Ops 1 era, kind of. Close to Black Ops 1 era. I like that.
Are you still alive?
Goldface got banned. Yeah, what was he saying in my chat? Oh, nice, spam. Cool, dude. Candy Crush Remastered? Yeah, totally, dude. Yeah, once again, I have this nice countdown intermission screen. We'll be using it whenever events like this happen. Next Investors Call will be for a while, but again, Charlie Intel even thinks the month of May is when we're seeing a reveal for this game. It's on phase 1 of the publishers list. Activision's like first on that list there, so I think we're very close to something, but at the same time, they can't even tell us what developers doing it. Like, what's the holdup? People are predicting they could announce like a co-developed game, Treyarch and Sledgehammer together, face of the game, not one or the other. That's a good idea. So that neither one takes the full blame if the game flops or financially, or or if it comes out broken. Yeah. Oh, wait. Matt heard something. I think he's muted. He heard something recently that I thought we actually heard it a long time ago and I forgot about it. They were talking about putting Blackout on the new engine and putting it on PS5 or maybe in Warzone as a Warzone map. That's really interesting. So they could reuse Blackout one day. Same exact.
Yeah.
Really interesting because about crossplay and shit. Because it's like I feel like Blackout's almost wasted. Like it had a solid couple months and then they just like, oh yeah, stop supporting it, and then in the Warzone. So like they could.
What's funny? There's still people who actually like Blackout.
I like Blackout over Warzone, but that again, that's just me.
Like I would be under Charlie Intel's suite. Like they want Blackout. They want Blackout to make a return because of the crossplay and everything.
I think mechanics wise, like Warzone's improved a lot of
absolutely,
Blackout failed. But the thing is like I've heard so many zombies YouTubers talk about it as well. Even Lex said it on stream. It's like nobody wants to be watching this grey ass map all day.
I swear to God, I was about to say that. Warzone doesn't look appealing, isn't really fun to stream because every time I stream there, right, we get wins, we have fun, but I feel like it's dreadful. Like it's slow. People are waiting 30 minutes to see the end of the circle. Blackout felt just more energetic, more vibrant. And Alcatraz Portals 2 even faster paced. You know, it's just I don't know, man. Something about Warzone that when I stream it, I feel drained fucking playing that shit for that long on stream. Like in 5 hours, you only play like 3 matches. That's how long the games take. Like it's a bit exaggerated, but it's just I don't know. It's not everybody's cup of tea. It's cool, but I think the age of battle royale, like Greg was saying, it's already declining as it is.
It's already horrible. It's on the
But
downfall.
I mean, it's declining, but it's still hot as.
It's still by far the biggest thing in the world.
Like people that say Fortnite's dead, bro, it's declining, but that shit ain't dead, bro. That
live event just brought it back. Those Travis Scott shit. Yeah. That was huge.
But that just keeps the game going. But it's like the gameplay itself. It's not. That's what people care about. They don't like it.
If I go onto Twitch right now, that kind of shows interest or. Valorant, that's another big one right now.
Yeah, but Valorant's the new thing though, so I understand. I bet you right now, if you look, Fortnite will probably have just more viewers than Warzone. And
actually, no, Warzone's more.
No, Warzone has more.
Oh, really?
Warzone's at 200.
Yeah, Warzone has more.
I think Activision played their cards right at Warzone because they're paying people to play.
Yeah,
huge.
Often when I check it, Fortnite still has higher, but I think there's certain times of day.
It's always very close.
Yeah, and the thing is like
the lineup.
It shouldn't be close. That's the thing. Fortnite's a how old game, and it's still pulling those views consistently. That if you can say that's not a dead game, bro. Like there's never been a game that been hitting those views that consistently.
I said this. Oh, you know what? Speaking of that, I literally said Fortnite's essentially the next Minecraft. Where 10 years from now, it may not be like #1, but there's always gonna be people either playing it, streaming live events. It's always gonna be there. It's never. It's too profitable. For them
I'm super interested to see how Fortnite's gonna transition into next gen, because if they don't really amp their shit up and COD takes over again, that could be like real good. But if you know,
I don't know what Fortnite can do for next gen. I guess. I assume they'll do a
reboot. Fortnite now is that they're focusing more on marketing things. Doing these live events, but like. They're not focusing on the gameplay, and that's what people like care about now. Like that's why you see all these trends and everything.
What boggles my mind, Zombies Chronicles, right? The best-selling map pack in the history of I think PlayStation or whatnot.
Yeah.
Greg, like go to any one of Greg's Zombies Chronicles videos. Everybody and their mother and their father and their dog and their neighbor were playing Zombies Chronicles. Those vids are fucking bangers. People play the hell out of that. If you can get back to that point of marketing and hype and content creation, bro. Zombies ain't going nowhere. But for some reason, Activision has not replicated that marketing style and type of content for some reason. Like Zombies feels like it's back as like a side mode again. COD Mobile, oh, they just took it out. BO4, oh, stop supporting it. Zombies this year, non-existent. It's like, why can't we go back to those Chronicle days where like full-fledged marketing, CGI, big ass map packs like that, like they sell. I don't understand how they just. I don't know. I feel like they dropped the ball a little bit because Chronicles 2 could have actually just been like faithful remasters like Chronicles 1. They didn't have to remake them in BO4. They could have just been faithfully remastered maps on current gen. Maybe on PS5, they could have went ahead and actually remade the maps like Blood of the Dead, Alpha Tag. But I think on PS4, we should have at least saw like faithful remasters, like the same maps just brought to current gen.
No.
Because it worked the first time with Chronicles 1. It definitely would have worked the second time with Chronicles 2 if you have Mob and fucking Transit, dude. It would have been crazy.
Imagine an actual good Mob remaster.
Like like Mob, again, insane map. Not the best Easter egg because it's pretty short and whatnot, but still memorable, beautiful story. It's I don't know. I just with Blood of the Dead, I think it just lacks the Golden Gate Bridge, the plane. It's just
I mean, I personally still love Blood, but it's definitely not as good as Mob. But
say they were making BO4 now, what would have been an amazing thing that they could have done?
Appreciate that, Scott.
Like, say when they released Blood of the Dead, they released Mob of the Dead for free at the same time. Then when they
just had it so you could pick which one you want to play.
No,
they on the basis of the map, like the only difference is the roof and the docks, and then not going to the bridge.
You want to know? Unlimited replayability is I forgot to change my member count. Unlimited replayability is literally, having the faithful remasters, right? Whether it's Chronicles 1, Chronicles 2, and then having custom mutations on that. You know how many things you can think of to stream and play with all those options and settings? Like, you could take old maps and build instant replayability just with custom mutations alone.
You should have got XP for mutations, I think. Mutations, they need to be more
Easter eggs, like beat an Easter egg legit once, get mutations on them. Boom. Done. Problem solved, replayability.
Yeah,
imagine that.
I don't know. I think mutations was overhyped. No one really cares.
Yeah,
because you can't play an actual game on that.
But
It's stupid.
I agree though. I never liked the custom sandbox change.
So I literally only played custom mutations if I needed to like get a gun fast from the box to put on 50k points, or if I was making a guide and wanted like all the shield locations, restarting over and over.
Like
that's the only use I had for it.
I remember when they announced that, hey, you could at the reveal event where they're like, oh, you can change your difficulty and shit, and I was like, damn, I don't really think that's like, because BO2 had that easy thing, which was
it's stupid because it affects records, and being a record player myself, like no one gives a shit if you do the Easter egg on like max difficulty. Like not a lot of people are going for it. No one actually cares. Like people care about normal, and that's it.
I mean, it's a fun challenge though. Like, there's plenty of people like there was.
It's a fun challenge, but like I don't understand how anyone finds that entertaining.
It's not
like you're literally using tortoise the whole time.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like
you're literally running with your shield out, and that's it. Like I don't find that
funny though. If you would have beat an Easter egg legit, and then you could do it on custom mutations with all these modifications. But there would be an issue,
but the thing is, it wouldn't work properly because if you put on mutations for like blood or something and spawn only Brutus, it's not gonna work. Like there's gonna be a lot of issues where it won't work.
Yeah, there's problems with that already.
And they like yes, they coded it, but they didn't code it to work for Easter eggs, and that's the problem.
Yeah, Matt, are you here? I think he just. Let me see.
He did say something before. Oh yeah.
Yeah, he said
I had you muted on accident. I didn't mean to. I think it was because you were reading chat. My bad. Here, I can hear you now.
Yeah, I was listening to you earlier and you were ignoring us.
My bad. No, I forgot to unmute you. My bad. We could hear you now. Yeah, that was something, man. That was something.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell's why it says I've skipped.
Yeah, they tried too much with mutations, Kingman. That's true.
And then there's Matt has another dagger toe and Easter egg.
Your mic is a little bit quiet, Matt. Just you know.
Yeah.
Turn it down a bit. Is it better?
Yeah. Fuck Boom. All right, here's the question, though, lads. How many maps on Black Ops 5 Zombies launch?
2.
1.
2. Who's the feature?
1. Yeah, 2 or 1. Yeah.
I think if you launch with a brand new experience, whether it's Vietnam, something massive and different, and then you release a remake next to that for safety. It's like Black Ops 3, Shadows and Giants.
So are we talking about 2 maps of 2 fully fledged Easter eggs, or 1 and like a giant kind of map with like no Easter eggs?
Well, the only maps left are have to have an Easter egg. So
no, I mean like even if it's not a remake, just like a bonus map, you know, like a
I hope they just give us a little survival map. I think every game needs at least one.
I agree. You know, an easy map, a catwalks, camp headshot kind of map. That's you know.
Just so you can farm camos and shit, you don't have to worry about like quests on the main map. If that makes sense. Yeah, like.
Even though 4 maps didn't work out well, I feel like there's such a high standard for a number of maps there, though, that if they just suddenly drop back down to 1 or 2, it's gonna look like you're getting less value.
But yeah, I feel like a lot of the community are gonna be like, okay, anything that's not BO4, we like it. Almost they'll eat that up, kind of thing. Like they're just
that's kind of
I've said this a bunch of times in the reveal. Literally, just show a Juggernaut machine, and everyone will freak out.
Yeah,
exactly.
The first tease of Zombies, Treyarch just updated their profile picture to just a jug machine.
That's all you need.
That's all you need. That's all you need. That literally gets the hype up.
Yeah.
People are more excited over a Juggernaut perk over.
I just feel sad that like that's the kind of teasers people are expecting.
That's
now.
the
like,
level.
We have to go back to like that.
It's funny because like
people doing so much, like oh yeah, a jug machine. Well, we shouldn't have got rid of it in the first place.
I know for me, like me and DK especially, is like we don't mind the BO4 perk system, but we'll literally just be happy for the sake of the community. Be happy. That's literally what
I swear to God.
Yeah.
I actually like what BO4 did perks. I thought it was
Yeah,
quite
that's what I was saying. I'm like, well,
all they had to do is add Jug as a 5th perk that is separate to the 4 perks.
Exactly. Or yeah.
The only thing that suffers in the new perk system is that the perks lose character. That's the only thing that kind of sucks. And like,
well, not only that, but it ruins it for like high round players. Like if you go down, you have the exact same health as you had when you started the game, which does not make sense.
Yeah.
I don't know why they didn't add Jug as a 5th perk.
Isn't it ironic? I think they butchered high rounds the most.
I mean, if they do end up having the chaos story come back, they're gonna have to make like a new like god statue just for Jug. If they did that.
No, I think it's funny because Black Ops 4 people consider BO4 like to have butchered high rounds the most, and then it's ironic because then there's a high round Easter egg on classified.
Well, they put a cap on health, zombie health, in like the normal version, which ruined it for everyone.
I don't understand.
Like no high round players care.
Yeah, like in hardcore there's not a cap, and like realistic there isn't though. Right? It's weird. I heard about that. It's weird.
If it's not Ether, can they just add in Jug? Like the same machine, or would they add a different version with the same concept? Or
that's what I want them to avoid. Like, stop making everything canon. Like, gameplay doesn't have to be canon to the.
Yeah, that's what
I said that earlier. That's huge. That's like you don't need to explain. Like, if you want to tell a new story but have the classic perks, just don't tie the perks in at all to the story. Just be like, oh yeah, they're just there. Cool.
Well, the thing is, they kind of like just forgot about that shit anyway in BO4. So like, if they literally have a chaos perk statue, they can make a real cool one and just have like the perks. The perk can literally be called Juggernaut, just like stamina up is stamina up in chaos. It's the same.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get you.
You know,
but I thought like before
you know
BO4 would come out, I thought they were gonna change the names. Like,
they could do what you just said. They'll
Just
have it.
don't bring back the shield system. That was terrible.
No, they could literally bring a perk in, call it Jug, and then the machine looks different, but then people will still complain it's not the same machine as before. There'll still be complaints. People will still cry about it. Guaranteed.
Exactly.
You're not
if they start a new story,
Still a better improvement, though.
I don't want them to try and do what they did with fucking Ether again. Like things like points and perks do not need a story implication. Some things can just
I think they might try and explain
Just
it.
small things like they did for Widow's Wine. That was cool. That made sense. Like that's all we wanted.
Yeah, they really overdid it on trying to give an explanation for everything.
Well, like they actually did it really well in BO3. Well, because I'm a lore guy, like I love all that, like all the explanation, like all the backstories, and I like all the world building. But like with BO4, like they have the equipment, and Shaw's like, oh, I made the Wraith Fires. It's like, okay, you know.
Yeah.
Well, then why can Rick Toppin use them?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like they kind of.
Why can they use elixirs if Shad's the one that made them?
Yeah.
It should, no, I still thought they were gonna do like Ether Goblin Chaos Elixirs. That would have made the stories feel different. And if the HUD was different on both stories, right? If the pickups were different on both stories, that would have.
It's just like with the whole perk thing, they took out the charm of it. Like having those perk jingles was so, like, that's one of the things that everyone loved about zombies. Like, they just like the pack punch thing. Like, they just totally changed everything.
Yeah.
I don't want to pay 15,000 points to fully pack my gun.
Yeah, that was the pack. Yeah, I agree. Terrible.
That was stupid. You shouldn't need all perks for speed cola either.
Hop on and play. Like opening pack should be simple. Things like that, all of that, you should just be able to go to the map and
they just didn't do mechanics right, because like when you get speed cola in Black Ops 4, it's still the same speed as not having speed cola in Black Ops 3.
Right.
Like it's even slower.
Yeah,
why?
That's a huge. Oh, bro, real quick.
Reconfirmed today on call. I didn't hear anything about that.
Wait, what?
About what?
There's people tweeting that Modern Warfare 3 and somebody posted a video. Modern Warfare 3 confirmed by Activision. Where?
Oh my
God. Where fucking timestamp that?
Buddy needs to clean his hearing aids out.
You know what's funny with the Modern Warfare 2? Like when they were like talking about the campaign, and there was like, and also, like included with something. And then I thought, oh, they're gonna say something about multiplayer, and then they just moved it over to COD Mobile. I'm like, what the fuck?
Did you guys?
Yeah.
Did you hear that bit where that guy was answering the question, and then the guy who, like, the Activision guy who answered, like, had like something in his throat, and he coughed. He went, like, it was so awkward.
Some awkward stuff there, man. Oh my god.
Man, I'm so confused with what's going on this year.
This is I think this is gonna go down as the
$5
weirdest.
donor. Oh shit! Hold on, let me just mute
The weirdest call.
Yo, my boy, 2 roaches, bro. You don't have to be doing this, bro. You've donated so much recently. $5. He says, if Ether had multiple dimensions, it's such a stretch that chaos is tied to it. Would it have been better to didn't make it a point to split them? Yeah, well, there's heaps of ties, and I'll actually bring this up in discussion with all the boys. There's heaps of ties within Chaos, like I said the other day. I think they should have connected it from the start. I don't think you should have started a new story at the climax of this, this 10-year epic saga that we had. Thank you so much for the $5 donor. I've actually made a badge for you, 2 roaches, you, Ace, and a few others that I'm going to be putting on my Twitch streams and shit, that will stay on screen constantly. I'm going to hopefully get animation for it as well. But yeah, I'm going to bring this conversation up with all the lads.
Crazy.
Yo, and another thing someone just brought up in my chat is, like, you know how we were talking about Chaos and Ether with, like, how Shaw created it and it's in both timelines. There's actually, like, heaps of stuff within Black Ops 4 that are, like, split. Like, Shaw talks about wonder weapons and, like, in Dead of the Night, if you, like, the Alcatraz swimming book is in the shelves and on the floors and stuff. And, you know, like, in Shadows of Evil, the Harsher Cigarettes big banner that's, like, above the Burlesque, it's like that cigarette brand. That exact cigarette brand is the one that's on the vault in Void of Despair. Like, the one where they break into.
I think there comes an issue where reused assets conflict with.
Yeah, they just had to
reuse
assets. Yeah, I think that's a big issue sometimes. Where and then we don't, and then the issue is we may not know if it is a reused asset or is it there intentionally. Like game development's that tricky where
I mean, yeah, like there's even heaps like there's this, like I said the other day, there's a video that I'm half done making is like Cronus, the code that you enter in Gorod Krovi, for the Easter egg. Cronus is a mythological word, and Cronus is an egg, like the birth of an egg, and it's the birth of Ether and Chaos, the egg, which is really interesting because it's like they're two of the same thing, and it's really interesting that Cronus really didn't have any meaning before that. So yeah, that's another thing that they could be tied, and I actually always thought it would be a better idea if they did tie it because, like, I always say trying to start
people
a
would
story.
care more. People would give a shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
People care more, but I don't think they should actually tie it. Like, what they need that fresh start, and that was what Chaos. They
Not
need that
now,
fresh start.
but the fresh start kind of ruined things in my opinion. Like it just
I think they're
ruined.
not going to mention Chaos again. They're just going to pretend.
They'll never talk about it, probably.
Well, the
hey,
thing
Lex,
is,
how you doing, buddy?
Jason was the
Pretty good, how about
head
you?
creative. Like Chaos was everything Jason couldn't do with Ether, and he wanted to do with Chaos. So that was his baby, and now he's not there.
Yeah,
so
but they still have more maps planned for Chaos though. Like they probably already had a lot going.
Yeah, but I don't think they'll
it's like the same thing with like planning Nikolai's like gunshot on his chest plate being on Origins. Like they definitely plan stuff ahead for Chaos. I don't think they would just scrap it.
Oh, look at the campaign. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's
I just don't see Chaos continuing without Jason. That's all.
I wouldn't
honestly.
have scrapping anything past Activision.
I think they're going to do what they did with Modern Warfare, where it's like...
Yeah, Kingman said something about this, is like, even though Jason was like the director of Chaos and everything, he wasn't the only one who created Chaos. It was also Craig's. Yeah, it's also Craig's baby. So Craig could, he could use like some material of Chaos and bring it into the new story,
I think Blundell would give Craig his blessing to continue Chaos. I just think Treyarch was like, all right, we got to work on COD 2020. We're cutting BO4 short, but out of respect for Jason, who we know is going to be leaving in the next 6 months, because they obviously knew, everybody knew, we're going to end Ether and BO4. Because there's no explanation to say why would they end Ether on 2 remakes with no budget. Clearly, they would think, oh, let's finish in the next game. But since they know Blundell was leaving, it's probably not right to continue Ether without him. They're like, all right, we're cutting it short. Maybe he did give Craig the blessing, do Chaos next year, or just start fresh entirely. But Ether definitely isn't going anywhere in COD 2020. But that's the way I see it.
I definitely think just a little Easter egg to explain what happened to close off Chaos or something.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I definitely
Kinda
think
like
he would have given the blessing. I definitely think they'd had the go ahead with that. But like,
they don't want-
even then, imagine like BO5 gets announced and it's Chaos. People are gonna hate that. Like, bro, like no one.
No,
It wouldn't make sense to be in the
They
game
kind of
either.
wrapped up Extinction in IW Zombies. We didn't think it was connected, and then maybe, like you were saying, the next iteration of Zombies could have an Easter egg or cipher talking about Chaos and how it ended. You know what I mean? Like that'd be interesting.
I don't. They couldn't just end it in one cipher though. Like they left it so open ending with like
they're all
the
dead.
library.
They all died.
They're not all just gonna die. Like that's.
If they're not,
Damn.
if they're not gonna make another map,
I think the smartest thing to do about Chaos is have it be the DLC format of the next game. Like that ending or something.
Well, I think the only way they can save it is if they tie it in with whatever story they do with BO5, and it's like there's also a cool theory that I've talked about a lot. Is that like Samantha and Eddie go? We know they go somewhere at the end of Targ. We don't know if it's they go to the new Agartha or they go to a whole new world, but they definitely go somewhere. It's made clear. If that is the start of a whole new universe, and then that's the Chaos universe that we see with Samantha and Eddie, like starting it essentially and being that, and then we see a follow on for that. That's like a cool way they could tie that in, and then they can have the Dark Ether story going like parallel to it, and then there's all that stuff about Eddie turning evil,
and possibly like the whole reason the characters sacrifice themselves in the end is to restore the world to normal. Doesn't it kind of defeat the point of their sacrifice? If then immediately this world is also now overrun by zombies,
well,
as a total Christian.
the thing is they do it to restore the order that they've caused, or the chaos that they've caused. But the other people in the universe, like the Chaos Crew or whatever that do shit, that's out of their hands. You know, like that's not resolving. Like the reason they had to die is because they perpetuated everything. They perpetuated the cycle. They're the reason why everything happened.
There's so much that like. And like even Matt was saying recently, don't forget that campaign or the Black Ops campaigns are also connected to Ether. So how did the Ether multiverse coming to a close affect the campaigns? Like, does that set up the campaign for COD 2020 as well? Like, there's so much that ties into this.
What if they could if they don't want us to immediately think it's a Chaos story? What if they could start BO5 off and they could almost do what they did with Black Ops 2, I think it was? Yeah. Where they start off with this different set of characters, we follow this story, and we don't actually find out till a few DLCs in, oh wait, this is actually Chaos. Just like BO2 did, we have a few maps with this different crew, we follow the story along, and then it turns out, here's Scarlet, and here's Medusa.
A little off topic, Sam, they announced there's apparently an Iron Heart series in development. that just came up. They're gonna milk the Iron Man character a little bit more.
Just so you know, like everyone in this Discord, it like sometimes it feels like I'm talking over top of you. It's because like I'm all the way in New Zealand. I'm on a completely different server, so it's like hella delayed. So like I apologize if I'm talking over top of everyone.
I haven't even heard that. I haven't even heard that.
Oh man, there's so many things they can do with zombies, but like, they have to make a good decision.
I think. Of the possibility, I think Matt's theory is the most realistic. I think the campaign characters thing is.
I think they're gonna try and make it more grounded because
I actually like that. Though. Yeah.
I think that's cool as well.
I think they could do a lot with. I think they could make Wood say like the main protagonist of the zombies, and they could follow a story along there. I think that'd be cool. They could test it out with a launch map, I guess. If it goes to shit, then it could be just like, it's just like a one-off map.
Saying that they were watching my stream and I didn't sound myself asking if I'm okay.
Who did?
Oh.
The hell? That call, man. It was every time they mentioned like Call of Duty, I'm like, holy shit. They're about to talk more about it, and then like, change the subject. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, I mean,
it was about Modern Warfare 2 when they started bringing it up.
Yeah.
It was like basically a whole lot of bragging about how well Modern Warfare's doing.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying the fact that it's doing that well, they don't want to take away that attention just yet until the very last minute. That's kind of how I'm looking at it.
The game was they just resurrected the game, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah, why they want to take that attention right off of it within like a couple months? Like, yeah, they're taking it.
One of the reasons things like Warzone is doing well is because people like the idea that anything. I don't think people like the idea that if they invest money in COD, that's just gone next year because it's a new game. This game's dead.
I do think they're gonna tie everything together. Where like maybe if you're level 55 already, you might start off as that in COD. Like I feel like the seasons are just gonna continue. It's all gonna be like the same thing now or something.
That's actually good. Yeah, COD becomes a more connected thing, less disconnection between.
I don't know how they would get that to work. I don't know. But...
I think what would be real sick to like stop the whole battle royale thing every year is if they continue Warzone like they do, and then literally like whatever year what COD comes out, say next year Black Ops 5, they add some of the Black Ops 5 guns into Warzone. They change the locations.
I don't think. I don't
make another map.
Yeah, I think it'll be 2 maps like getting updated.
The loadout system. The fact the loadouts are kind of overlap with
the Treyarch map in Warzone has exclusive loot just from that game, and then I was even saying in this video the other day, Black Ops 5 or whatever the game's called, the main menu, there could be a spot for Warzone to launch it from the game, just like Modern Warfare has, right? It's possible.
Well, Taylor said that Verdansk is going to be updated like real life, like it's a real place. So it wouldn't make sense for like Cold War weapons to be added to the map. It would have to be like another map that's for COD 2020.
Well, isn't there stuff in the files about another name map like Urgistan or something?
No,
fake news though.
No, that wasn't true.
Oh really?
Yeah.
It was just a cutscene from Spec Ops, and there's nothing about another map in the files.
Because what's really interesting is the other day before the update, I was playing Warzone and I loaded into a game, and I was in like third person in the airplane. Like I could see people jumping out the airplane, and it wouldn't.
Third person mode coming?
It wouldn't let me drop out. Right? It took me all the way past the circle. It dropped me out of the map. It took all my armor off through storm damage, and then it didn't affect my health. I was immune to the storm, and I just floated under the whole map, and I could see like there's like extensions on the bunker and shit, and I didn't even think about it till like today that I might make a video on it. I did. I've got heaps of clips of it, and I won the game. I won the. Yeah, there's like little pathways of the bunkers. It's crazy. It's like it's real hard to see there.
Send me it.
Alright, hold on.
Yeah, I'm surprised no one else has showed that yet, because like there's that helicopter glitch. I would have thought someone would have had.
Oh yeah, they just fixed that helicopter glitch today, didn't they? Or they just disabled the thing today.
They removed that the bunkers are just going to give
helicopters temporarily. Well, they fixed it.
The bunkers are just going to be extra areas, and that's it.
Choose, did we get I know we got clips of me winning the game on the map, but did we get a good clip of like seeing like where the bunk, like you know when we first drop? I can't remember.
I think your VOD is still up on Twitch. Go back and see the whole thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The bunkers are either going to be a live event thing, or it's going to be something like
they said it's season 4, I think.
Yeah, they did. Either it's going to be that
game already then.
I kind of hate it.
To a bunker and you get fucking loot.
Once again, everybody new to the chat, in terms of what happened in the phone call today, Call of Duty 2020 confirmed, not delayed as of right now, still coming out in the fall. It's apparently great according to testers, and they still don't want to share who the lead developer is, because we know it's great.
How long is your live stream to go on for?
Probably not too much longer. I think we've just about hit everything.
Yeah, I'm gonna end mine soon as well.
Yeah, we have a lobby for grief. Imagine. Yeah, that's something, man. That's something.
Yeah. Oh man.
That was something else, dude.
Hopefully this game goes well, but I think the biggest mystery is around zombies.
Yeah.
Just no
really. What? Everyone's commenting on my video saying it says it was uploaded 2 years ago.
Oh yeah, it bugs out like that. And mine says like 6 days ago when I'm done.
I saw a comment. I saw a YouTube comment the other day. Someone screenshot it. It said posted 40 years ago. I was like, what?
That's hilarious. Yeah, when YouTube was around 40 years ago, dude.
Yeah, bro.
Alright. Yeah. When you guys are available later, Zazu perk or whatever, we could try that cargo thing we were talking about.
Yeah. Are you available after 9 or?
Yeah, I'm down. I'll be a vid
All
for
right.
tomorrow.
All right.
I'll download it.
Got it.
Yeah, that's wow. I'm glad we did this though. We gotta do this again whenever we get like again official marketing dates and all that. The next Treyarch live stream, that dude, I wish I would have streamed Treyarch live streams last year. I just didn't have OBS available. The Treyarch live streams are always a ton of fun.
Yep.
We gotta do more of that. Next Activision investors call won't be till when does quarter 2 end? In
June 30th.
June 30th. So we'll probably see it like around 4th of July. Next investors call.
My live stream's glitched out. It says there's another one scheduled and there's 44 people waiting.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
We're just sitting there thinking there's more COD news coming, waiting for you to go.
There's a whole other call that we haven't talked about yet. It's coming up in 25 minutes. Here.
Gaming Rev exclusive. Gaming rules calling Activision.
It's already been.
Yeah, that's really funny. I'm just like, bro, man.
If they picked up your call, you could make like a whole video about like calling Activision.
Bro, no, if they answered my fucking dude, if they answered my call, that's a video I got.
No, I reckon you would have freaked out and froze and just gone like,
No,
I love your games.
Yeah,
what's going on, guys? Dkdynamite here.
By the way, I glitched through your Easter eggs. Please don't hate me. Please answer my questions.
Sub to Dkdynamite.
You should have said I'm a big fan of the classified Easter egg. I'm gonna
ask him. I have a question to help out Grizz. Can we get an update on factions? We've been waiting. Dude. No,
Dude,
man.
What happens? I reckon you could maybe.
That's so.
The question I would have asked was like, are you ready to share info on your lead developer for COD 2020? And can you share anything about the direction of zombies since they took a break this year? I probably would have asked that.
No, you should have just trolled, to be honest, and just be
or trolled. I just like it's a good opportunity, and I think asking about Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer, I don't think they would have said anything about it. I feel like they would have been like, yeah, we're not ready to do that.
You should have been like, well, we've got these leakers.
Yeah, I'm in a Discord chat with the Gaming Revolution. How do you feel about his direction of content lately?
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, can you bring his Twitter back?
You just hear that, just hang up, dude.
Yeah.
The Gaming Revolution.
Next question, please.
I actually believe though that could have been scripted or something because I mean, what if somebody actually fucks up and says something horrible, right? Like,
Operator, can we go to the next question, please?
Yeah, like, hang up on him. Yeah, that's hilarious.
It was so scripted. They were all, thank you so much for letting us talk. It's like, bro.
Yeah, that's what I think. Because I thought they would have like asked you what question you were gonna ask before they put you through.
No, he legit said, have your question ready until it's your turn in line. I'm like, okay.
I reckon they'll only pick up calls from like the big companies.
Yeah, I mean, but if you lie, the question is if you lie, how do
they don't verify who you are.
Dkdynamite, Bank of America.
Yeah, like what if I just said I don't know, like what if I literally said Bank of America? Like what
say you work for EA.
I work for EA. I'm trying to get you. Oh my god.
Yeah, say you're better than them.
What he said, can you ask Greg to explain to chat why Victorious Tortoise is shit? He actually left a call. I don't know where he went, but I don't know why he thinks that.
I don't think he thinks it's shit. I think he was saying he thinks having to hold a shield out to use Victorious.
Yeah, he thinks it's too crutch. He thinks it's pointless.
It is crutch for high rounds.
He thinks it's pointless for the realistic runs because that's literally the only strat, and he doesn't like it, which makes sense.
Oh my god.
I think his other point, which also Kingman pointed out, was that you had to pay to get a new shield repair. So like he doesn't like that system. Probably he meant that.
Oh yeah.
Imagine if you've been charged.
I actually quite like that because they made shields so powerful in the FL. They're way better than.
I hate how you have to pay for a shield. That's so annoying.
Yeah,
they should have made it free to repair it, but if it breaks, then you have to pay to get a new one.
That makes more sense. Yeah.
That makes more sense.
And then in BO3 you couldn't repair them at all, which is funny. So they went like a 180 on that shit. Yeah, that pretty much wraps everything up here. Definitely have videos this week. Could there be a surprise title review on Friday? People keep talking about Friday. I don't know what Friday is. Apparently,
yo, my boy Caleb coming through. He's still up, bro. I thought you went to sleep, Kurt. Just had the investors call. We got 40. Oh, we got 39 likes on the stream. Can we get one more like? Can we do it?
What did Dolly post?
How is this 10 minutes? What?
Is it Call of Duty 2020? Please.
There's 5 minutes of info at most.
Oh my god, new Call of Duty 2020 news from Activision. All they said was it's not delayed.
So talk about that for 10 minutes. We can talk about, here's why it's not delayed. Here's why it could have been delayed. It could still be delayed. Like we could just, go ramble back and forth.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
They barely said 30 seconds worth of news there.
I think if you actually add up how much they said about COD, it might not even be 30 seconds. It's probably like fucking 20 seconds. About COD 2020, not Warzone.
Dude, all we know that it's coming out in the fall. It's not delayed.
We got something. They could have played it safe and said, yeah, we don't know when the release date is. We're playing it safe because of the corona. But
they did say the fall, so...
Yeah, but don't be surprised if it comes out as broken as Black Ops 4 and they just patch it for a few months.
I think it's gonna have probably blue screen problems. Probably even worse. Probably even worse.
Yeah, in BO4 it's just zombies. In this game it's gonna be just all over. Campaign, everyone crashes on the first mission.
Dude, imagine PS5, like the first blue screen on PS5 is because of Black Ops 5.
Hey, somebody posted that's world's first.
That's a world's first. There you go.
Yeah, I plan to
PS5.
do that trio commentary still with the boy Matt and DK. Still, we're just trying to find a good enough topic.
What you want to knock out?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I kind of want to get something like an actual good topic. Wait for something maybe, or like we can talk about a bit about all the fake bullshit with the that's going on with the game files and stuff, and debunk that a little bit. I think because everyone's I get tagged in like 10 shit a day, bro. Like saying like, oh look.
Oh, I do too, man. I do too. I think it's Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer is great and all, but I think it's a bit cringe how like it's like a cult going forward, like thinking that like again the popularity and the community part of it helps, absolutely helps, and they might get the word across, hey, we really want this. But I think people are taking it a bit too far to the point where they're seeing like the simplest thing in the files and saying like, oh yeah, it's definitely coming like soon. It's like
leftover code has always been a big thing in COD.
Yeah,
there will be leftover.
It's just
yeah.
I mean, I can make a video on it, but
Yeah.
Modern Warfare is great and all, but I'll get that lit audio. What if you titled the vid "New COD 2020 Zombies Details Leak"? Yeah, that would have been funny. Like zombies wasn't even mentioned. They're sleeping on zombies this year, man. By the way, Choose 0 drop frames tonight, and I think that is from that's an internet thing then.
Nice.
Knock on wood. 0 drop frames, 0%. Yeah. By the way, also everybody in chat, in case you guys missed it, I streamed going for platinum in Black Ops 1 and 2. We now have platinum in both of those games. We are missing 2 more trophies in Black Ops 3. We're gonna hopefully knock out one of those trophies on this Sunday stream with the lads. Should be Skype, Nirko, and Choose playing Black Ops 3. I know Lucario and Greg also wanted to run it, so I'll probably do that separately as well at a different time. But yeah, Black Ops 3, we're starting like what we're missing this Sunday. It's not gonna get done in one day, but we're starting it this Sunday.
Well, if you want to do it at whatever time we talked about, I'm not sure if Nirko will even be up then, because it will be like 4 in the morning for him.
Yeah, we gotta really find the time. It's gonna be a little weird to get it.
I'm gonna be getting up early as well. So is it Choose or Choose is doing it, or are you doing? Are you here, Choose?
I think I'm doing this one. Then DK said he's gonna do it again with Greg and Lucario.
Yeah, because Greg and Lucario were down, but I'm like, we gotta just pick who's doing what on this Sunday. So yeah, it doesn't matter. Totally fine. Let's see. Oh man, but yeah, chat. Be sure to raid Buddy Fajardi. He's currently streaming Tag Toe in round 115. His first stream on his new channel. I'm gonna spam it in chat. Go over there. Hashtag DK raid. Twitch, where we can actually do a legit raid, because that's actually an awesome feature that YouTube should adopt one day.
Is he streaming on YouTube?
Yep.
Why are you in? Oh wait, no, never mind. I confused someone for someone else. Okay, never mind. I confused Skype for Skizzle, and I thought Skizzle's title just said with Gaming Revolution and Dkdynamite. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, Skizzle X is he streamed for 3 hours. Yeah, good shit. I'm gonna let me see. I might end my stream at 4:20. I'm at 4:12. And that a good number, baby. 7-year anniversary of Mob of the Dead. I ended the stream on 7 hours. That's how you do it. Wow. Yeah, that's awesome though, man. We got something. We got something. Yeah, next week's the last week of Uni too, and then we're done with that shit.
Alright, I'm gonna end my stream and hopefully send some people over to Fajarity real quick. I'll be back in a sec.
Yeah, everybody, let's rave.
Yo lads, that's gonna be the end of the stream. I'm gonna be streaming tomorrow with some more, like I'm probably just some high round stuff tomorrow. I'm gonna have a video coming out about the information, all the information in this investors call, and some more information with Gaming Revolution and Dkdynamite. So yeah, that's gonna be a good video. I'll tweet and post about it on my YouTube. But for now, we should get everyone to go to my boy Fajari's channel. Please go drop him a sub, and we'll do hashtag Skype raid. If you can go into Fajari's chat, and even if you have to go straight away, just go into his chat and say Skype raid or Skype sent me or something like that. That'd be sick. I posted it there, posted it in Twitch as well. Yeah, I'll see you guys in that stream. I'm gonna talk in that stream in a bit. So yeah, everyone, I got like how many people in here? Still 10 people. Make sure to go on there and drop a like, and yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.